everybody. It's the Mike Missanelli Show on the air on a post-NBA first-night draft where the Philadelphia 76ers, as kind of expected, take VJ Edgecombe, the guard out of Baylor, over the projected number 3 guy, Ace Bailey, who went 2 picks later. And the justification is that they're super excited to get VJ Edgecombe, who is a dynamic, energy-filled, high-flying player. And the NBA has those type of players all over the place. You need guys like that. I get it. I wouldn't have taken him there. Yeah, I would have taken him there. If Ace Bailey has the bigger ceiling, I would have sat there and taken Ace Bailey. And I didn't care that he didn't work out for me at all or whether he didn't want to be here. Once you get him in an NBA system, once he gets an NBA check, he's here. He'll play. The league is it's important to be a guard in this league, but it's ultra important to be a wing player. And Ace Bailey's a wing player, and so that's if I was going to stay at 3. And I said yesterday I would trade back, but if I was going to stay at 3, I would have taken Ace Bailey over VJ Edgecombe. That's not the major consensus for a lot of people, including my producer, Ray Dunn, who is here with today. He was all about VJ Edgecombe. So, Ray, good morning, and I guess you're happy about this selection.
Good morning. Yes, I am. It's a good morning to be here. Glad that they got VJ Edgecombe last night. I think we've gone over a couple of times. You mentioned just what you're getting in him and the athleticism, the ability you're going to get on the defensive end. He gives you an intriguing backcourt. And I'm excited to see the way they shuffle those pieces together. For the people that wanted Ace Bailey, just watch the smile that he had when he got drafted by Utah.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, listen, once you get him in the system, he's going to have another smile. Like
he might have a smile there because he's going to get 20 shots a night there. He's not getting 20 shots a night here.
That's fine, but this whole thing's been overrated that he doesn't want to play with the Sixers. Once you get an NBA uniform on, you're going to play. You're going to try to show what you got. So I look at that as irrelevant. Not that I'm a monster Ace Bailey fan. I'm just saying if I'm at 3, what I need more is a wing than a guard. The Sixers right now, I just counted it. They have 9 guards. Now, a lot of them are going to be filtered out, but here's what they have. Maxey, McCain, Grimes, Eric Gordon's coming back for some reason. Kyle Lowry wants to play one more year. Jared Butler, Ricky Council, Jalen Hood, Shafino, and VJ Edgecombe is added to that. That's 9 guards. How many wing players do they have? Well, they have Oubre, they have Paul George, they have Justin Edwards. They're trying to move Paul George. I don't know. It seemed to me that they needed a wing player more than they needed another guard. But there are a lot of people that like this kid, and they like the dynamic of this kid. Like I say, I fear he's a little bit of Ricky Council, where he can high fly, he can occasionally shoot it, but he's so wild that he'll hurt you until he learns to play NBA basketball, which is, to me, a couple years down the road. So we can talk about that. We're going to have some comments from Daryl Morey, from VJ Edgecombe from last night, from the commentators who brought us the draft last night. Not a lot of surprises in that, except for the kid from China being taken, and he wasn't supposed to be a first-round pick at all. I'll tell you the pick I really liked, and I think the Nets got really good value in this. The kid Igor Demon from BYU, a 6'9" point guard. I love players who are unusual. And if you get a 6'9" point guard, remember the days when we were lauding the fact that the Sixers had a 6'9" point guard? Well, this kid's a 6'9" point guard, and I watched him a lot last year, and he took him at 8, and he was projected to go in the teens. The Nets looked at him and said 8. So that's the one surprise that I looked at in the top 10. But let's hear from Daryl Morey right out of the chute here about him being super excited about VJ. This would be Daryl Morey 1, Ray. Let's hit it.
Super excited about VJ, what he can bring to the team. Brings a dynamic athlete, potential all-star, two-way player. Really helped his team. He's got all these winning qualities that we think really fit. Great teammate. His story and what he's done to get to this point is really unbelievable. And we think he's on a great trajectory to take where he's come from and continue to improve through Baylor all the way through a very long and very promising NBA career. And we're excited it's here at the 76ers.
Well, there you go. Now, most encouraging, Daryl revealed that they went through a pretty detailed process. After all, they have about 74 assistant general managers in their system. So they went through a very detailed process, and here's what he had to say about that.
I hate to invoke the word, but I mean, we have a pretty detailed process here. And, I think it starts at the high school level and all the pre-work before in the years prior to their coming into college, with national teams, with everything. And that process continued through this year. No, I mean, I think we were seriously considering, pretty much, early in the process, it was about 6 and that was down to 4. And then we were deliberating up until the last few days, down to who we would pick. And as we dug in, we felt like VJ was by far the best choice there.
They had him at 6 at first? But the detailed process whittled him down to 3. Do you trust the detailed process? They had a pretty detailed process. That's the first time I really heard that. Apparently they didn't use that last year, the detailed process. So
To get Jared McCain? This is the draft we're talking about.
Okay, all right. Jared McCain's he's an all right player.
Yeah, for where they got him in that
right
draft.
player. Yeah,
I mean, it's
okay.
not like last year's draft was full of a bunch of superstars. They were able to get someone that actually extracted value.
Love the Sixers today. I like it.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about a detailed process of the offseason, I got a lot of problems with the fact that we're talking about Eric Gordon not as someone that's a member of the organization's front office mentoring a player, but instead as a teammate. I could get on board with ripping them for the old guys on the roster and for the way they go about free agency, but we're talking about the detailed process of the draft. You want to point to last year? That's one of the only bright sides you got out of last year.
All right, that's fair. Let me go one more with Daryl, where he talks about Daryl Morey 9, talking about VJ Edgecombe's work ethic, and then we'll get VJ to talk about his own work ethic. So here's Daryl.
Above and beyond what you can see on the floor, the thing we spend a lot of time on, and I will say it's very hard to forecast with 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. We don't think we have some crystal ball, but where we can get more confidence that a player has 2 things, which is they understand that they're not where they need to be. They understand they're not yet, pick your all-star guard in the league. And then they have the work ethic to close that gap. If a player has that's very interesting to us generally. And yes, we've been fortunate that you can get a guy with talent already playing at a high level at Baylor and then also has just not only just a hopeful work ethic, but when you can see if you track back to the Bahamas and you track back through his pre-Baylor period all the way through. I think we're excited about that.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't exactly light it up at Baylor. He was solid at Baylor. He didn't exactly light it up. I don't know how many games he had over 20 points. But he was one of the most highly recruited high school players to come out of high school that year, along with Cooper and a couple other guys. VJ was always talked about as the next coming. So they got a player who has a pretty good rep. Now, here's what he had to say. VJ Edgecombe had to say about. Of course, he's from the Bahamas. He's from Bimini, and Bimini was a notorious political fallout for somebody, if I remember. There was a boat in Bimini. This is the Gary Hart scandal. It was something like that. But I digress. So let's hear VJ Edgecombe talking about his character. VJ Edgecombe 1.
It means a lot. He's something that can also help with on the court things, and that's with my character. I don't think, if I was a bad person, I doubt they would have picked me. Or if my character wasn't likable, or I don't think they would have picked me. So it shows a lot about who they are as people. That they care more about the game than basketball. They care more about basketball. They care more about how you as a person also, things that can translate off the court. Like I say, it's a city of brotherly love, man. So I don't think they want anyone here that don't show love or anything like that.
Oh, I like that. I like what he had to say about that. Also, the Phillies were shut out again. So I thought I'd throw that in, because we'll talk about that as well. They left 7 more on base, and they had a just hide your eyes 8th inning with the bases loaded, 1 out, and didn't score. And they get shut out again.
This is very
Yeah,
bad.
I'll tell you, they waste 2 good pitching performances and get shut out against the Houston Astros in the first 2 games. We will talk about all of it. 610-632-0975. Did the Sixers make the right move by selecting VJ Edgecombe over Ace Bailey? Your opinions and the governor's opinion. Governor Josh Shapiro will join the show a little bit later. It's the Mike Missanelli Show back after this. 610-632-0975. Let's get to the text board early on and see what the people are saying early in the show about the selection of VJ Edgecombe over Ace Bailey. Ray, what do you got so far?
All right, we got a texter here. Not too thrilled about what you had to say about Ace Bailey. Once he gets here and gets a paycheck, he's going to play. LOL, just like Embiid and Simmons, right? They get NBA paychecks and don't play.
Oh, Embiid never played, I guess. Ben Simmons never played early on? Come on, man. Stop it. Guys that get to the NBA need to prove themselves in the NBA. Now, the only thing that would deter Ace Bailey from growing is lack of playing time. And at that wing position, he would probably get some playing time with the Sixers. I don't know how much playing time Edgecombe is going to get, frankly. So when I look at it, I go, they need a wing more than they need a guard. Here are their guards currently. Maxey, McCain, Grimes, Eric Gordon, Lowry wants to play another year, Jared Butler, who they got in a trade that Morey likes, Ricky Council, who's probably not going to be here, but he's still on the roster, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and Jeff Dalton. That's 10 guards with Edgecombe. 10. Now, there are wing players, Oubre, George, Justin Edwards. I look at the depth of both those positions, and I think a wing player in this day and age is a little more important than another guard. Not that I don't like Edgecombe. Maybe he turns out to be a dynamic, high-flying, scoring whiz. But if you're asking me who I would have taken at 3, if I'm not trading back, I probably would have taken Ace Bailey and dared him to be a good player.
Hey, you named 10 guards there. Only 3 of them really you're given justifiable minutes over Edgecombe.
Okay, Maxey, McCain, and Grimes.
Right. So he's right in there with your backcourt rotation.
Okay.
From day
one.
one.
I think he's a little green, and he's not going to help right away.
And I think Ace Bailey's quite green.
Yeah, Ace Bailey is green, but the one thing that separates him from being green is he's 6'9" with a big wingspan.
Okay, well, wait.
And he can shoot it from the wing.
If we're going to use the 6'4" for Edgecombe as his NBA draft measurements, then we're going to use the 6'7.5" for Ace Bailey, and we're not going to use the 6'9" thing.
Long. Ace Bailey's long, can shoot it.
He can make tough shots. His true shooting percentage at Rutgers was actually lower than VJ Edgecombe's at Baylor because of the shot selection that he has.
Okay.
Like Ace Bailey coming in here and getting 5 or 6 shots a game, his only upside to play right away in the NBA is his shot making, his shot taking. He's not going to get those shots on this roster. So ultimately, the only reason to have him on the floor, he's probably not going to be able to maximize here. Edgecombe is going to be able to maximize his skill set on this roster right away. That's
your opinion. And my opinion is a wing player is more important, and I think that there's a higher upside for Ace Bailey. So, not that I'm just devastated that they didn't take Ace Bailey. They took VJ Edgecombe. They do all their research. You heard them. They do all this research.
Yeah, very detailed, or pretty detailed. Not very, pretty
detailed process in that.
Yeah.
So, and it's a big story, and I know a lot of people felt that heartwarming story of VJ Edgecombe when he talked about it on NBA TV, was seeing what his mom had to go through. So let's go to the NBA TV interview with VJ Edgecombe. That's NBA TV 2, Ray.
Man, them long nights. I'm telling you, I lived off a generator. I ain't had no electricity. I lived off a generator for 7 years. Man, seeing what she had to go through to feed us, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I don't even know, man. My mind everywhere right now, man.
Wow, that's emotional. He lived off a generator. Mikey Miss didn't live off a generator the other day.
If we get him on the air, get battery advice.
At least his generator worked.
I was gonna say your generator did not.
Well, there you go. So that was heartwarming.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think last night, regardless of how people feel about the pick, once you got to know VJ Edgecombe, I don't think anyone came away from VJ Edgecombe, the person, the experience afterwards, not feeling like, oh, at least you got a really high character guy.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the phones. We got Greg from Bethlehem checking in on VJ Edgecombe, and he's giving it a thumbs up right away. Gregor, right? Thumbs up?
Yeah, I mean, we all knew that they weren't just the way things were going to break out, that we didn't expect the Sixers to hit a home run, but I was very encouraged by Edgecombe's VJ's concentration or mentioning that he wants to become an elite defender. You know, most of these kids are all about scoring, and they don't talk much about defense because they know that's a lot of work. I was personally impressed by his comments in that regard.
Yeah, let's play it, in fact. Ray, VJ Edgecombe 3 with the Zoom presser that they had last night with him.
My mentality is not let nobody score. I hate to see other people score, man. That's just me. I just hate to see other people score, and you know, I'm focused on that's my thing. I just do not like to see other people score.
There you go. He doesn't like to see other people score. That's what you're talking about, Greg, right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't hear that from most of the guys. You know, they're all about offense. So, for me, that was encouraging.
Okay, and I'll give you another one. This is the more revealing. He loves defense for a good reason. This is a very mature answer. VJ Edgecombe 4, Ray.
I just love playing defense because you know I know that I can play on the floor if I'm not scoring. You know, scoring is not just the only aspect of the game, and I'm so bought in on just being a versatile player, being an all around player. That why not be an elite defender or try your hardest to be an elite defender? Man, that just comes with grit. Just grit. You just gotta, and I just don't like seeing other people score. Like I said, I just hate seeing the opponents score because if they score more than us, they win. I hate to lose, and I just love to win.
There you go. He can still make an impact if he's not scoring. That's a tremendous way of looking at it. Not many kids look at it that way. Yep, that's a very mature answer. All right, Greg. So you give it the thumbs up. I like it. All right, there he is, Greg, with the thumbs up right out of the chute for VJ Edgecombe. Now, my thumb's not down. My thumb is like sideways a little bit, with it leaning towards the up. You know,
I like
not,
that.
Not totally horizontal, not totally vertical, but somewhere in the middle.
I like
fair?
that's leaning upwards.
Yeah, it's leaning upwards.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I would have taken Ace Bailey. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
76ers take Edgecombe. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. With the third pick in last night's first round of the NBA draft, the 76ers took Baylor's VJ Edgecombe. The 6'4" guard boasts incredible athleticism, tremendous defensive ability right out of the chute. He joins a crowded backcourt where that defensive ability will be what gets him on the floor, and he spoke last night about his approach on that end of the floor.
My mentality is not let nobody score. I hate to see other people score, man. That's just me. I just hate to see other people score, and you know, I'm focused on that's my thing. I just do not like to see other people score.
Tonight, the 76ers hold the 35th pick in the draft as the second round gets underway at 8 o'clock tonight. Stay tuned to Fanatic. We'll have coverage of that for you this evening. Phillies bat struggled once again last night, shut out for a second consecutive night in a 2-0 loss to the Astros. It's the first time the Phillies have been shut out on back-to-back nights since August of 2022. They'll try to avoid being swept today at 2:10 with Christopher Sanchez on the mound against Hunter Brown for the Astros. The Union last night ran their endless unbeaten streak to 11 matches with a 1-0 win over the Chicago Fire. And now the Union sitting at the top of the table still after that victory last night. This update brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE sedan. Hurry it now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
right, 1029, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic, 610-632-0975. Selection of VJ Edgecombe. What is the reaction from the people? Let's go back to the text board. I'm guessing that's going to be 90% positive today, Ray.
We'll see about it. I was on last night from 6 leading up to the draft special they did in Camden, and for the hour and a half I was on, I felt like I was bombarded with the just take Ace, just do it for a while on the phones. So I'm interested to see if a lot of people are with you today with the just take Ace, because it felt like that was growing last night leading into the draft. We got a text from Jasper here. I like Edgecombe, but the Sixers, if they were going to draft a guard, they should have drafted Walter Clayton Jr., my opinion. He was the best player on a national championship team, a clutch shot maker, and a good defender. Plus, Ainge liked him.
Too small, man. Or does he understand that he's only 6'1"? Like, you can't. Like, what are you going to do with a 6'1" guard anymore? You know?
Going to put him with the other 6'1" guard.
Yeah, like, yeah, come on. It's the funny thing about people. They look at, he was their clutch player. I get it, on a college level. But when you have to project him to an NBA level, you go, okay, what can he do in the NBA? Is the 6'1" going to be, overly prohibitive? And it is. It just is. I'm sorry. It's a big man's league. It's a big boys league. And occasionally you'll get a little guy like Jalen Brunson. But Walter Clayton's not going to be a Jalen Brunson. He's a nice player. But come on. Here's the draft. Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper. The consensus number. VJ Edgecombe goes third. What I don't understand is this fuss over Con Knipple. I just do not get it that he would be the fourth player in the draft. And they take him over Ace Bailey, who goes to Utah, and that's a good spot for him. He's going to play a lot there.
Can we get a minute and a half here of what the open of this show would have sounded like had they taken Con Knipple over Ace Bailey?
I think it would have been ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry. Con Knipple is not worthy of the fourth pick in the draft. Trey Johnson would have been. Trey Johnson goes sixth to the Wizards. Jeremiah Fierce, he's a little guy, but he's got a lot of experience as a point guard at a high college level. And there's my guy taken at 8, the sleeper to draft, I believe. Igor Demon, 6'9" point guard, gives you something special. Colin Murray Boyles last night. And did you see that scene with Colin Murray Boyles?
I did.
Did he look like he was happy, or was that a myth? Did he utter the F word in disappointment, or was it different?
Whether he did or he didn't, it's way too late for him to go back now, because enough people, I think, in Toronto have accepted that's what he said.
So he was disappointed, uttered an F word, even though he had his girlfriend, Chloe, kids. Mm-hmm. How about Chloe last night, yo?
South Carolina, yeah, women's basketball team.
Uh-huh. Malawak, my guy, goes 10th to the Houston Rockets. Perfect for him. Perfect. Doesn't have to worry about scoring on that team. That team is set. That team is going to contend for the Western Conference Championship with Oklahoma City. They're going head-to-head with them.
Because they got Durant or because they got Malawak?
Because they got now a very well-rounded team with finally a closer they have on the floor. Guy can make the clutch shot.
Yeah, Jalen Green was not that
guy. And Malawak can be like the Capella-type guy for them early on.
Yeah, Capella's
Cedric Coward,
a decent one for him.
Goes 11 forward from Washington State. And there's my man, Noah Essengay from France, who bailed out on his team in Germany.
Any word if he got back on that flight for the game today?
I don't think he did. He's celebrating now. He got the Bulls grabbed him. Derek Queen, who was Cooper Flagg's teammate in high school in Florida, he went 13th. Carter Bryant, a lot of people liked him from Arizona. Let's see, Thomas Sorber, the kid who started out Archbishop Ryan here at Georgetown, went 15th. And here's the surprise. Yang Hansen, 6'11" kid from China. Yang Hansen.
Yeah, that was the big surprise.
His father American?
Or is it flipped the other way because it's his
mother?
No, I mean...
What?
Chinese name, right?
Yeah, Yang Hansen.
Yeah, wouldn't Yang be the last name then?
Hansen Yang? Well, there's got to be some American influence in there. If Hansen sticks... If the Hansen name sticks in there, no?
By the way, for Malawak, going back to that, he was traded to the Suns. We should
he was traded to the Suns?
Yes.
Oh,
So you get the old you got the hat of the Rockets and the life of the Suns.
That's not good for him. All right, well, sorry, man.
Rockets and Suns making another big deal.
Yeah.
Or he was in that trade. Yeah, he's a part of that trade because that 10th pick was traded from the Rockets, but they couldn't do it until after the draft. That's what it was.
Johan Berringer goes to, looks like the Detroit Pistons. Walter Clayton, 18th, was traded to Utah. So they're,
by the way,
they're building something in Utah.
Utah last night just ruining two guys' nights. Ace Bailey, who did not want to be in Utah, and Walter Clayton, who all he wanted was to be in Miami. Both those guys have their evenings ruined by Ainge.
How do we know Ace Bailey doesn't want to be in Utah?
Because it was reported he didn't want to be in Utah.
Really? He said that?
Yeah. He wanted to, Washington was the site that he was,
wanted to go
was
there.
telegraphed.
Well, listen, you'll get over a disappointment, kid. All you got to do is go out and play. You're going to play with a team that there's going to be no expectations, so you can actually play. Kasparis Yakilonis goes to the Heat. Overrated player. That kid from Illinois. Will Riley, Drake Powell, Asa Newell was the fourth guy that played on that Cooper Flagg Florida team. 4 guys in that starting lineup get taken in the first round. Nick Clifford, Jace Richardson, the kid, the son of Jason Richardson, MSU, goes to Denver. Is that Denver or is that Orlando? From Denver. It looks like he goes to Orlando. Ben Saraf, the guard from Israel. Danny Wolf, the kid from Michigan out of Yale, goes to the Brooklyn Nets.
He had a tough night.
He did. He drifted down.
He drifted. Did you see?
Right.
I mean, they kept cutting back to it. My goodness, they wanted all of the tier shots from him. I mean, the number of times they kept going back. I think at one time they caught him grabbing tissue. It's like, all right, man,
Really?
I get it. He's upset. He's had a terrible night. Leave the kid alone.
Yeah. Let's see. He was crying. He still got selected in the first round.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going to be fringe lottery, and he was sitting there thinking he might go in the second round.
You know who should have gone back to college, as I said? Liam McNeely was picked 29th and traded to Charlotte from the Suns. And you see this first rounder? The last guy in the first round? Yannick Conan Niederhauser from Penn State. To Oklahoma City.
So I ended up on one of those, mailing lists for Penn State, probably because I bought tickets before up there.
Uh-huh.
I believe that's the first-round pick in Penn State basketball history.
Is it really?
That's what it said on the email. I was reading it this morning.
Wow.
So congratulations to your Nittany Lions.
I can't even think of anybody else who would have been a first-round pick.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a center from Orlando might have been a first-round pick.
Let me see if I can pull up the email.
Came out. He wound up coming out.
It is the
John Amaechi. John Amaechi, a first-round pick. Wasn't Frank Burkowski a first-round pick?
becoming the first Nittany Lion in program history to be selected in the first round.
Wow. All right. Well, congratulations to Yannick Conan Niederhauser.
Did the Clippers know they were making history?
The Clippers got him?
Taking 30th overall by the Los Angeles Clippers.
All right. Well, have fun in L.A. 610-632-0975. We'll get back to our text board. We'll also get into what the Phillies did not do last night. Shut out twice, 18 innings worth in Houston so far, and they're facing Houston's ace tonight. The Mike Missanelli Show continues after this.
We want to hear
Let's get into the Philadelphia 76ers. Just one thing to the draft. Let me just clarify my position here. I'm not disappointed with that, but if it's me, this is what I prefer. Size, wing player, shooter, wingspan to play D. The Sixers have Paul George, Oubre, and Justin Edwards as their wings. Who knows what's going to happen with George? Oubre's mediocre. A lot of people like Justin Edwards. I need a little more. I like size, wing player, shooter, wingspan, play D. That's why I would have taken Ace Bailey. And I don't care whether he wanted to play here or not. I'd take a guy. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? You going to put your head in your butt? If you do that, you don't make any money in this league. So what do you want? You want to make money? Play. That's what I would dare these kids to do. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. Once you get there, it'll be fine. It's like going to college. I don't really, I'm not that excited about it. But once you get there, you assimilate.
I was fired up to go to college. I don't remember the whole. Oh man,
There are a lot of people that go to college. They get a little nervous. They're away from home. It's like I don't know. It's too far from home. Well, and you get there and then you make friends. Yeah, that's the way kids think. So I'm okay with the VG Edgecombe. I would have taken Ace Bailey. Phillies last night. They left 7 on base. Let's go through it. Man on in the first inning with 1 out. Ugats. Man on in the third inning with 1 out. Ugats. Top of the 5th. Stott leads off with a single. Kemp has a 1-out single. Marsh strikes out looking. Turner strikes out swinging. And here we go. The top of the 8th. Marsh, 1-out single. Turner singles. Infield single by Schwarber, Ray. Bases loaded. 1 out. You have to score a run. Have to score a run. Alec Boehm is up. He should have one thought. Contact. All you got to do is make contact in that situation. However you make contact is in your brain. Shorten up, do something, hit the ball to the right side, whatever you have to do. He hits the ball to the right side in his sleep. And he struck out swinging on a bad pitch, which left it up to Castellanos, who feebly grounded out. And there you go. That is the makings of a shutout. And then, of course, the bottom of the 8th, Caratini, it's a home run off Strahm. Makes it 2-0, makes it a little easier for Josh Hader to close out that game. The Phillies have not scored a run in Houston, and they face a really good pitcher tonight, right? How you feeling?
Not great. Last time Phil scored a run, Drew Holiday was a Celtic. I mean, it's been a while for this Phillies team. Understandably, they had off on Monday, but it has been a brutal 2 games to watch. And people that sit here like, well, the only thing that matters is what happens in October. And look, we're seeing it again. Last night, you could see Casti flailing at pitches. You could see Boehm trying to do too much. You could see some of the flaws of this team that have been remembered. And how about strategy from the Astros last night where it's just lefty after lefty after lefty? It's not, oh, we're going to put the righties in to face the righties. It's like, you know what? Let's just keep throwing lefties at him and see if they'll ever adjust. And they did not. And they have not over 2 nights in Houston. Not encouraging. I don't think I'm breaking any news for anyone here when you've been shut out back-to-back nights, but you don't love it.
They played lefties against the lefty last night, at least.
And
they didn't play your buddy.
Yeah. Woof. Woof.
Your buddy.
Yeah, I'm okay
did not
with that.
play last night.
I'm okay with that.
You are?
Yeah, very much okay with not seeing him in the
Okay.
line.
So last night, they trusted Stott and Marsh against the lefty. And that's what we yelled for them to do before. Now, Marsh had 2 hits.
Yeah, Marsh wasn't the problem.
No. Problem was in the middle. Boehm, Castellanos, and Real Muto went 0 for 12. That's not good.
That's why you need a right-handed bat at the deadline.
Yeah. Oh, well. Let's go back to the phones. We got Reggie checking in, our traveling truck driver, currently in Hawthorne, Nevada. What's going on in Hawthorne, Reggie?
Military ammo depot, Walker Lake, and bighorn sheep. Sometimes the bighorn sheep were on the roadway.
Oh, no. Be careful.
Good.
sheep get out of the way when they see a big 18-wheeler coming towards them?
No, I wait because the males they ram each other's, for dominance and noise with sound. I don't mess with them. I wait till they cross the road.
Really? That's nice of you.
Yeah.
And they just cross the road and they kind of give you the finger as a truck? The sheep shot. Yeah, screw you. This guy's not running us over. We got all the time in the world to cross.
They go to get water, so they go down to the lake and then go back up on the hillside.
I got it. Now, were there any dogs that were sheep herding dogs in there?
No, because they got those big horns. What's your email? I'll send a picture of 3.
It's Mike Miss at Mike Miss at bbgi.com.
bbgi.com?
Correct.
All right. Wow. 2 people that I think get paid by the word because they give us a lot of words and nothing else is Daryl Morey and Dom Dombrowski and 3, Rob Thompson as well. I'm still not getting absolutely nothing from them. And I think the players have tuned them out. And that's why on the Phillies, they need a change because they may have tuned out Rob Thompson's monotone, almost sleeping voice, and they're not responding. And he's not. There's nothing. They're consistently given nothing.
Well, they're having a rough time in Houston, but they came up with a pretty good series against the Mets, where I thought they were better than the Mets. Houston's a pretty good team now. I don't know that we realize that. Houston's a lot better than we may think they were. They got the same record now as the Phils.
Well, with the lineup that wants to hit homers all the time, they only can hit something straight down the middle, it seems.
Well, there's a lot of teams that have to just hit something straight down the middle. Hitting is hard. Now, my problem is that situationally, when you have the bases loaded, 1 out, there's no as a major league team, you got to score there. You got to be smart about it.
You have to.
Yep.
Yeah, at least once. You got to get one player across.
Yeah,
at least.
absolutely have to tie the score there. Yep.
Yeah. Bimini Road down in the Bahamas. If you listen to George Clinton and P-Funk, Parliament Funkadelic, and I believe the song is Aqua Boogie.
P-Funk, love it.
Yeah, straight from #1 Bimini Road.
All right, that's pretty good.
So as soon as I heard Bimini Road, I know I heard it before, and I'm thinking George Clinton because I love George Clinton and P-Funk. I listen to P-Funk.
Oh, yeah, P-Funk back in the day. Solid. Bimini, Ray, you got to look this up for me. Bimini was a political scandal. The boat. Gary Hart was a presidential candidate. He got caught on a boat in Bimini. I forget what the name of the boat. It had a distinctive name on the back of it. And he got caught with, who was the girl? It was a woman that was not his wife. And it ruined his presidential campaign. If I'm remembering this correctly. It was Gary Hart.
As a result, all right. So in late April 1987, the Miami Herald claimed that an anonymous informant contacted the paper to relay that Hart was having an affair with a friend, claiming it was...
What was the woman's name, you know?
Donna Rice.
Donna Rice. That's who it was. Donna Rice was sitting on his lap. There was a photo of her sitting on his lap at the back end of the boat. Whatever you call that, the back end.
Ooh.
And the boat had a distinctive name.
The boat's name was... Oh, come on, Wikipedia. Now you're going to let me down? Where is it?
I wonder where VJ Edgecombe was at the time. I guess he wasn't born yet.
Mario Cuomo remarked that there were skeletons in everybody's closet in regards to this.
Oh, yeah. Gary Hart, this ruined him. Now, maybe today it wouldn't ruin anybody since you can actually get elected if you spend time with a porn star. So, back then, you couldn't get away with it. Donna Rice and Gary Hart.
The Monkey Business was the boat.
Monkey Business was the name of the boat. Classic.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dagler.
And there was a little monkey business going on that boat. They're Bimini. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The 76ers take Edgecombe. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. With the third pick in last night's first round of the NBA draft, the 76ers took Baylor's DJ Edgecombe, the 6'4 guard. Is noted for his athleticism, defensive upside. He joins a crowded backcourt where that defensive ability will be what gets him on the floor. And he spoke last night about his approach on that end of the floor.
My mentality is not let nobody score. I hate to see other people score, man. That's just me. I just hate to see other people score, and I'm focused on. That's my thing. I just do not like to see other people score.
Tonight, the Sixers hold the 35th pick in the draft as the second round gets underway at 8 o'clock tonight. So we'll see where they go with that pick and what they may do in this second round tonight. But Edgecombe the pick in the first round for the Sixers. Phillies bat struggled once again last night, shut out for a second consecutive night in a 2-0 loss to the Astros. It's the first time Phillies have been shut out on back-to-back nights since August 2022. They'll try to avoid being swept today by the Astros at 2:10 with Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Round for Houston. And the Union last night ran their MLS unbeaten streak to 11 matches with a 1-0 win over the Chicago Fire. They remain at the top of the table. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dreams Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at MBUSA.com/stream. I'm Ray Dunn on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
By the way, a little later in the show, we have a DB or not. And, yeah, it's kind of a video DB or not, but I guess I'll have to describe it. That's coming up a little later. It happened yesterday in Sea Isle City.
Oh. No.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no. Stop it.
Uh-huh.
No. I'm not going to ruin it, but I know where you're going with this, and I'm going to disagree.
You're going to disagree. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see how people feel about it. I've had enough.
Well, there was about 2 weeks there where you were fine with it.
Yeah, I have enough. I've had enough now. Anyway, what did you think of the broadcasts yesterday? It was one on ABC, and it was one on ESPN, right? So who was on the ABC broadcast?
I believe ABC was Kevin Nagandi, Stephen A. Smith, and Bob Myers.
Stephen A. and Bob Myers. Did you venture in on that one?
I did not.
You did not?
No.
You ventured in on the ESPN one?
I did.
Okay, the ESPN one was Malika Andrews, Andrea Carter, Kendrick Perkins, and Jay Billis.
Correct.
Right? All right, so we're going to get some sound from all of those, but apparently Colin Cowherd was selected last night.
Well, now you're teasing the news at noon.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, we'll wait. We'll hold off on that. So we'll get some. The commentators had a lot to say, and most of them really lauded the Sixers selection of VJ Edgecombe last night. So that's always encouraging. Anyway, it's the Mike Missanelli Show. You're listening to it right here on WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. Just a programming note here. For the next 15 minutes, we will be unable to take a call because we're doing some maintenance here.
I just got it to go ahead. We're good.
Oh, we are good?
Yes.
The phones are open?
Phones are open.
So the maintenance has been done. The phones are open.
Yes.
610-632-0975. So I'd like to have a conversation. I want to hear. I don't know if people are that, satisfied that they took VJ Edgecombe over Ace Bailey.
So,
I think it's like even. I think the fan base would have been okay with either one.
I'm just curious for how many people at this point, they got to the draft last night and they were like, you know what? What is it changing?
Yeah.
And that was more the overwhelming sentiment. Like, there's people that are excited about Edgecombe. There's people that we've had the back and forth with about where they should take a Bailey. But I'm curious how much of the fan base, and I put this out, and I can't say that I have a large scientific polling example here. But I was curious last night what people were watching on the evening where the Sixers had the third overall pick. The Phillies were on similar time. Who was getting your more attention? And for your screen choice for tonight, I put 4 choices. Phil's primary, draft second, draft primary, Phil's second, draft only, Phil's only. Phil's only was 28% of what I got.
Yeah.
Phil's primary, draft second was 30%. So those were your 2 biggest answers.
Yeah.
Meaning that whatever you were watching, the draft that was at best secondary to you for over half the people that voted. Like, I think that for some people last night, they were, are you getting a franchise changer at 3? No? Okay, well, in that case, what am I really changing about this franchise? I'm curious how many people just kind of are shrugging their shoulders at the Sixers.
I think there's a lukewarm reaction to it because you're right. He's not going to be the dynamic guy that's going to change the fortunes of this team. He may play a little bit. He may show you some flashes. But he's not going to be able to change the fortunes appreciably. It's still what Embiid, George, and Maxey do. So, with any event, let's get to some of the comments last night made during the draft by the broadcast team. Let's start with Jay Billis, who likes to pick. Jay Billis, number 1.
Well, Andre, your point about being a high-level athlete, he's elite athletically, a 3-and-D guy that plays above the rim. Lobs, I think he can do a better job finishing over length, but I think he'll get that in time. But you don't find athletes like this very often. And he's a great defender. He's developing as a shooter. He can knock down an open 3, but he can certainly improve in that area. He shot 34% from 3. He made 52 of them, but as a defender, he plays incredibly hard. He blows up dribble handoffs. He's an excellent chase defender, and he just disrupts. Very good as a help defender, getting out in passing lanes. he has a ton of ability. And, you don't say this lightly. He does remind you of a young Oladipo, a young Wade when they were 19. Now, the question is he going to reach that sort of height as he goes forward? But he's certainly got the capability there.
Okay, what do you make of that, Ray?
Yeah, I love him giving him such high comp in Dwayne Wade. Mm-hmm. I really hope people aren't expecting Dwayne Wade to step out on the floor come November, because that's not where he's at right now. I understand what he's saying, the athleticism, what he can grow into. To put that on a guy that's 19 that only played 1 year of college basketball, you're drafting a lot on the potential of what he can be. And to keep saying that, like, he has driven home this Dwayne Wade comparison a lot. And I think we tend to do this with prospects. I know people were saying Ace Bailey's Kevin Durant. It's like, well, Ace Bailey is not Kevin Durant, and certainly not compared to one season of college basketball Kevin Durant there versus what Ace Bailey did there. Like, there's, I think, levels to this where we keep throwing these high superstar comps out. He says a lot of wonderful things about him, but I think what a lot of people hear in those things are just the comps, and the comps drive me a little crazy.
Yeah, the shooting, the number he just put out there in college, if you're shooting 35% or less from three, that's not a good sign. So he's going to have to learn how to shoot it a little better, which is why I like Bailey, because Bailey's got a pure stroke. That's why I would have taken him. He's more capable of making three-point shots in this league than VJ Edgecombe is.
And to be clear, to clarify this point for people that haven't been listening, the point for you is if you were going to make the pick at three, you would have gone Bailey.
At three, I would have traded back. But if I was going to make the pick at three, I would have taken Bailey.
Yeah, and I'm still not there with it.
You're not there with it.
No.
Let's hear what Kendrick Perkins had to say. Perk, number one.
And Philly got this right, I believe. They needed that athleticism at the wing, complement Tyrese Maxey. And what the final showed us is that the wing is the most important position in the NBA. And you got a two-way player that's a dog, that's going to go in and give you high motor, high energy. I believe he's going to be all right.
All right, there you go.
And the one thing I will point out here, and this is something Randy does on the YouTube, and I appreciate him pulling up this number. For VJ, the shooting on catch-and-shoot threes is 45.7%. And that is more what you are drafting him to be for this team. He is not creating that three-point shot for himself at this point in his career. And that's why on an offense, again, where you have other guys who are supposed to be the focal point of scoring, he could probably benefit, and his offensive game can benefit from not being the driving focal point of what teams are trying to do defensively against you, and he could give you a little bit more of that profile. If he was drafted by a Utah, drafted by Washington, one of these places that we're going to expect him to carry more of a scoring load, that would be a detriment to his offensive game at this point. I think coming here to Philadelphia, where other guys are the focal point of that offense, that is better for his offensive game developing here.
So are we talking about Maxey being your point guard? And the wings possibly will be Grimes and then B.J. Edgecombe coming off the bench for Grimes, or do they play them together? And where's McCain play at this point?
Well, that's the interesting part about where this backcourt's going to go at this point. Like, do you want McCain to be the one on the ball and Maxey not to have those on the ball experience, like on the ball responsibilities? That makes you small in the backcourt, but it gives you the actual point guard on the floor as compared to Maxey controlling the basketball. Do you want to go with a backcourt of Grimes sitting there too? I don't imagine Edgecombe starting for this team.
Okay,
especially off the bat.
So one of the 6'4" guys will be a wing if you're playing Maxey and McCain together.
Two. I mean, like, I guess, yeah, if you want to call him
Grimes will be a wing.
I mean, we did just watch the Pacers and Thunder with guys who sit that 6'4", 6'5" range and play the wing. I mean,
yeah.
I don't
Grimes gets first dibs at the wing. Edgecombe is the sub for Grimes in that spot?
I guess in that spot. If Maxey Grimes is your starting backcourt, then I guess, yeah, he's your backup there for Grimes.
All right. We're going to talk to Tony. He wants to talk about the Sixers pick. We're going to go back to our text board as well. There's a text on Con Knipple. I know people are going to say, you're missing the boat on Con Knipple, man. I don't think I'm missing the boat at all. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Hey, everybody. It's Bill Colorado.
Mike Missanelli Show. Well, I went back to the old hometown last night, Ray.
Was there a parade waiting?
There was no parade, but I went to a restaurant there. Met a couple of my Bristol mates, guys I grew up with.
Oh, very nice.
At a high-end restaurant that has come out of nowhere and it has become very popular in the little town of Bristol.
Really?
It's called Jules on Market. A little seafood restaurant. High-end seafood restaurant.
Interesting. How
Big
was it?
selection of oysters.
Oh, I'm in.
You're in? You're an
I'm
oyster
in.
man?
I'm an oyster
No,
man.
I am not an oyster man, but I sucked down 2 oysters last night for the first time in my life.
First time in your life?
First time in my life.
You never had oysters before?
Never had an oyster.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Didn't appeal to me. Shellfish doesn't appeal to me. Clams, mussels, oysters.
It's become an acquired taste for me. It did not appeal to me
really?
originally.
Yeah, now the oyster, I pretty like it's briny. And, I might as well suck them down. I don't understand the oyster, frankly. All I do is suck them down. Like, what is the payoff for the oyster?
Tasty.
Not really tasty. It's briny.
Oh,
It's just
pretty good.
tasting brine. You slide it down your throat. You don't even chew it. You just suck it out of a shell. Put a little hot sauce. I put a little hot sauce.
Yeah,
on
you
it.
got a little sauce on it?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little hot sauce. Yeah, it was all right.
Drop it on.
Now, again, it's supposed to be an aphrodisiac. I didn't feel any itch in my loins on the drive home.
Might have to do with the company.
Well, I was in the car on the way home. What is it, an immediate itch? When do you get the an aphrodisiac itch?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it a myth?
Usually,
I think it's a myth, frankly.
you think it's a myth?
Yeah, I think it's a myth.
The only time I get oysters are when I'm down in New Orleans. Like my yearly voyage down there, I usually go to Acme Oyster Bar down there, and then I go out on Bourbon Street. So I can't really speak to.
Yeah, well, this restaurant gets the fresh fish flown in from various places around the country every day.
Wow.
And
Bristol.
It was packed. The place was packed. First time I was in there, I'm going, wow, what is this in this little town? All of a sudden, high-end restaurant.
We got a question in the YouTube chat here from Andrew Ellis. Ask Mike if King George's Inn in Bristol is worth going to.
Yeah, it is. It's a cute little place. It's an old inn, and it's on the river. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
So what,
This place is around the corner from that.
Nice. So you with your boys
on
from
side street.
Bristol? Is this like
We get together.
old basketball team crew?
No. We get together every now and then. Guys I grew up with. We have a group of 5 that we stay together, and have dinner every now and then.
That's nice.
Yeah. So
good.
I did that last night. I had some cigars afterwards.
Oh, very fun.
Yeah.
Where are you guys doing cigars?
Across the street from the restaurant.
Oh, very nice.
They have like an open air outdoor speakeasy. It was closed.
Really?
It was done for the night, so you're not supposed to smoke there. But the owner, Jules, who we talked to, said, "Hey, you guys, it's late. God, you
You're Mike Missanelli.
can have cigars." She didn't know who I was. But my brother told her who I was. He goes, "Think he'll give me a mention?" So there you go. There you go. Yeah.
You got cigar space for a mention.
Exactly. So next time, oysters half price.
Nice.
All right. Let's go to the text board. All right. Ace Bailey text and one on Con Knipple. Give me the Knipple one.
Yeah, I figured that you would want the Conconnipple one first. All right, here we go. Sixers drafted a defensive specialist at number 3. Not the shooter they needed, who went at 4. Morey truly has no clue. Simmons and Fultz all over again. Phil from Florida.
Come on, man. The shooter they needed. You think that guy is going to get open shots in the NBA right away? Come on. You're going to have to work hard, Con, to score in this league. It's a different type of animal. What else on Ace?
All right, we got Chris at PA here checking in. I don't know how much this stuff came out of him pre-draft, unless he's a bad personality. Again, talking about Ace. If he's another Ben Simmons, and if he's another Ben Simmons with the I am the prize mentality, he can pound sand. Me first personalities are malignant tumors.
Yeah, he's not Ben Simmons because he can shoot it. This kid snipes it. And a guy like that is a valuable asset. This is a league, dribble drive, kick out, 3. That's where he would be better than Edgecombe. He's a stroker. He's got a really nice stroke. This kid.
Yeah,
I would have taken him.
He's like, if you believe that he's Ben Simmons personality wise, he would be the inverse Simmons, where there's not much more to his game except the shot right now.
Yeah.
And you would want the rest of the game to develop, and you question whether or not that's going to come.
Well, as long as you have the shot, you can develop the other thing. Now, when people say, whoa, what about Con Knippel? Con Knippel's not as athletic as Ace Bailey. It's just not. I didn't see Con Knippel take the ball to the basket very much when I watched Duke. Yeah, he runs off screens. I get it. He's like J.J. Redick-esque. But, I think this kid's been overvalued in this draft. We shall see. All right, let's go to Tony in Philly. Wants to check in on the Sixers' second pick. Tony, what do you got?
Man, what did I tell you yesterday? I said Edgecombe, and then I said I wanted Hassan Yang, the Chinese center. He goes number 16.
16.
He goes 16.
Yep.
They say everybody's shocked. I'm trying to tell you. And tonight, what they have to do, Charlotte has 2 picks in front of them. If they take Thiero, that's the one I want for the Sixers, they have to take Chaz Lanier.
That's the kid from Arkansas you're talking about?
Huh?
You're talking about the kid from Arkansas, Thiero?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You want him?
I want him, and if he's going, I want Chaz Lanier. One of the 2 they're going to take. Trust me. And it's ironic that Anthony Edwards, I said the boy had flashes. Edgecombe had flashes of Anthony Edwards, and people comparing him to the Wade or a Depot. But what did he say himself? He passed the game after who? Anthony Edwards. I've seen flashes of it. They got the right pick. Don't worry about it. They get Thiero tonight or Chaz Lanier, they're going to be just fine.
All right, so you're happy with the pick of Edgecombe.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
All right, Mikey.
All right, buddy. You got it. Thank you. There you go. So there's an endorsement, VJ Edgecombe. Now, he's going to delay. See, here's the thing. If you see highlights of him, he flashes and dunks. And people fall in love with that. They fall in love with the high flyer who can jump over somebody and jam. He does that.
Yeah, people fall in love with the guy that hits a fadeaway 3 in front of the bench. Oh, look at that. Look, a turnaround jumper over that guy. Say the same thing about Ace.
Well, yeah, but see, the dunk, the flash to the dunk, jumping over somebody, posterizing somebody, is always gets more points with people. And they see the highlights, like, well, look at that. That kid's a dunker. He is. It's good. I like the fact that he's a dunker. He's dynamic like that. I also saw Ricky Council do that a lot, right?
Yeah, this Ricky Council comparison really has stopped. It's not.
What's irrelevant about it? Ricky Council doesn't do the same thing?
No, you've watched Ricky Council play. We both talked about his basketball instincts just aren't there. The IQ for the game is not there.
Okay.
You watch Edgecombe play, you don't watch it. It's not a chicken with the head cut off.
His basketball instincts are there.
And people that have seen him way more than me also say it's there. But around
I hope you're right. I don't want Ricky Council. 610-632-0975. We're back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
76ers take Edgecombe. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. With the 3rd pick in last night's first round of the NBA draft, the 76ers took Baylor's VJ Edgecombe, the 6'4 guard. Boasts athleticism and defensive upside for this team right out of the gate. He's joining a crowded backcourt where that defensive ability will be what gets him on the floor, and he spoke last night about his approach on that end of the floor.
My mentality is not let nobody score. I hate to see other people score, man. That's just me. I just hate to see other people score, and I'm focused on that's my thing. I just do not like to see other people score.
Well, now we get to see what the 76ers do in the second round of the draft that gets underway at 8 o'clock tonight, currently holding that 35th pick in the draft. The Phillies bat struggled once again last night, shot out for a second consecutive night, 2-0 loss to the Astros. First time the Phillies have been shut out back-to-back nights since August of 2022. They'll try to avoid being swept today at 2:10 with Christopher Sanchez on the mound against Hunter Brown for the Astros. And the Union last night ran their MLS unbeaten streak to 11 matches with a 1-0 victory over Chicago Fire, and the Union's still sitting at the top of the table. This update brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE sedan. Hurry and now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And if you have any views on what the Phillies are not doing right now, which is hitting the baseball with runners in scoring position, 610-632-0975. So the NBA draft day 2 happens today, and the Sixers have a couple picks here in the second round. So it'll be interesting to follow. They have them early in that second round as well. The Flyers and the NHL draft tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, but first of all, our draft party that we've been talking about all week, the live draft for the live broadcast with the Flyers leadership and alums, sold out. It's sold out. That'll be tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino, Atlantic City. The $6 per person commemorates the Flyers selecting 6th overall, and the proceeds for this sold-out event benefit Flyers charities. Complimentary food voucher was included along with access raffles and giveaways. So the people that took advantage of it, congratulations and have fun at the event tomorrow night.
We're going to get a chance to catch up with someone at that event tomorrow.
We will. Jason Martinez, our old buddy, Flyers analyst, will be on with us tomorrow.
Excited for it.
Yeah. Talked to Jay Martinez in a long time.
I was going to say.
Or as I used to call him, Martinez. Today, a little later in the show, Governor Josh Shapiro will give us his thoughts on the NBA draft for his beloved Sixers in the 1 o'clock hour.
You booked the governor, I booked Martinez. You know, we're rolling here today.
We are rolling, and Daryl Morey booked himself yesterday talking about this draft pick, so I want to hear more from Daryl. And he said a lot yesterday. So let's start out with the question invariably had to come. Ace Bailey didn't work out with the team. Did that impact you? Is Daryl Morey 8?
It was pretty opaque. I mean, I spoke to the agents, so did Elton, so did Prosper, so did a lot of the key folks on our staff. You know, he didn't work out with anybody, so that was just their plan. So it was just their general plan. And you know, I don't try to judge. They were doing what they thought was best for them. We were doing what's best for us, and it had no impact on the decision.
Okay, no impact on the decision. But he also said this, Daryl Morey 3, Ray.
I put 0.0% into work. I really do. I would say I do think I do like having dinner with the guys. I do like getting to know them better. You know, obviously it's different reading all the reports that our scouts file and coaches give us and everything, and then meeting someone. I think that is beneficial. I think the encore stuff is. I guess it's nice to make sure they're not hiding an injury or something. I don't know. It's very hard for me to figure out how you get anything out of a session. You know, if you could put them in a competitive setting, that might be something, but that's not something that happens at high picks. So not a big part of the process, but we did love having them in and having dinner with them and things like that.
All right, so he put 0.0% in the workouts. Somebody comes in, but meeting someone is important. And yet, he said Ace Bailey not working out with the team had no impact with the decision. Well, he just said meeting somebody is important. He didn't meet with Ace Bailey.
Yeah.
May have influenced it.
He's talking out both sides of his mouth here.
He is. Okay. Let's hear what he says about VJ Edgecombe, about his high floor and high ceiling, and how he can impact his team. That's Daryl Morey 5.
Agree with that completely. Yeah, that he has a nice combination of both. I will ask our fan base. I mean, look, early returns can get magnified. I do think it's hard this is a man's league, and you know he's strong and physical, so I think he'll adjust quicker than most draft picks. But they take a little time sometimes, and but we feel we're very excited about him.
Okay. Now the big news or the big thing about the Sixers is. It doesn't matter what VJ Edgecombe can contribute. It doesn't really matter what Tyrese Maxey can contribute. What matters most is what the big guy can contribute, because you still are built around Embiid and in some ways Paul George, and those are the two that I am not that confident in leading this team. So Daryl Morey did have an update on Joel Embiid for the first time in a while. You haven't really heard anything about Embiid and what's going on with him physically and how he's working out and all that stuff. So here's what Daryl Morey had to say. Daryl Morey 7 about Joel Embiid.
Medical update time. Spoke to Joel today. He's very engaged, attacking rehab, doing everything he can to be out there. He had a meeting with Dr. Glashow this week. All things, to use the NASA term, nominal. Things are going well and expected, and we expect that to continue. So
ready for camp.
Yeah, I mean things are on track to be ready right around there.
Liar, pants on fire.
Yeah, I mean,
can we believe him at this point?
Him or just the organization when it comes to health updates?
Can we believe Daryl Morey saying he's going to be ready for a start of training camp? Things are going well right now.
I mean, I'm not buying bottle service at a club with a sign that says Daryl Morey is a liar, but I'm probably not exactly most trustworthy when it comes to what he's saying about the health of his players.
Okay.
Like, I can't sit here and say, when he says it should be around then, should be around, like, medical updates at this point, I've been conditioned for a decade with this team to just, okay, they say everything's fine. I'm going to wait till, the bottom falls out here. Wait till the other shoe falls. I just feel like that's the way it happens with this team and medical updates. So, no, I don't think I could sit here and tell you that I was like, oh, he said he's going to be ready for camp. I'm excited. That means he's bad. He's good. He's all better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Daryl is excited for everyone to meet VJ, and that'll happen tomorrow, I guess. He'll be brought in for press conferences and such.
Yeah, it seems like all that's happening tomorrow.
That's going to happen tomorrow. So here's what Daryl had to say about being excited for everyone to meet him. Daryl Morey, 14.
I'm excited for everyone to meet him. I'm excited for you to meet him. It's a little hard to describe. He's sort of like, he's a very mature for his age, for being under 20. He carries himself like he's already been in the league, which I don't think is easy. So that's one. Two, I think you saw it, like the love in his family there, even if you guys were watching the telecast. I think that obviously a lot of people have that, but I think, the admiration from his brother, I'm just excited to get to know him. He has a real good head on his shoulders, and both on the court, basketball IQ wise, but also just life IQ.
Okay, there you go. Mature kid, up for under 20, got a high ceiling. All right, it seems to be a good selection. I would have taken Ace Bailey. No, that's just the way I feel about it. So, there you go. Ray's getting annoyed with me.
No, I mean, listen, that's your opinion.
Ray's pro BJ.
That's your opinion.
Totally pro BJ.
I'm just surprised you get driven nuts by people who have a sense of entitlement to them in this town, and I feel like this entire pre-draft process, there's been a sense of entitlement to Ace Bailey about where he should end up.
I don't care about his sense of entitlement. What I care about is whether he fits better than a guard. And to me, a wing player for the Sixers fits better right now than a guard. That's all.
Okay, but like you're just, again, that's a vacuum thing here. That's, I like this position versus this position. You're not going into the personality of the player. And you also love that Knicks team because of the grit, the heart that they have. And of the two players, I could see a lot more heart in the way Edgecombe plays than the way Bailey plays.
But I overlook that. Like this heart thing, this fact that he wasn't excited about playing here, wasn't excited about playing anywhere. He's like, but once you get to an NBA team, you're going to be excited to show your ability. So I totally disregard it. Daryl Morey put 0.0% workouts. I put 0.0% in the fact that he didn't want to work out here.
That's fine. If you would have taken him because he didn't want to work out here, he was making it very clear that he wanted to be a certain place and he wanted things to go a certain type of way.
I get it. But it didn't work out for him. So what's he going to do, quit?
I mean, it half worked out for him. He's not in the location. I doubt he wanted to be in Salt Lake City. But I think the fact that he's going to get 20 shots a night probably is something that entices him.
Okay.
Is he getting 20 shots a night here?
Well, I'm just telling you what I would have done. I don't care what the kid wanted. If I'm selected, I don't care what the kid wants. If I think that he can fit my team better, I'm taking him. I'm rolling the dice, and I'm taking him. And he can't do anything about it. He can't quit. He's got to perform.
I'm curious for you, the fit this team thing, because you have very clearly made it that you don't believe in this team doing anything.
No.
So why are you concerned about the fit of this team?
I'm not going to give up. What do you want me to do, give up?
Well, I mean...
if you're going to ask me, How do you improve the team? They have to improve the team. Yeah, they have to improve the team. I would have improved the team with a wing instead of a guard.
I'm just saying the best case for me to take Ace Bailey was that you wanted the longer swing upside for a number of years in the future where this team needs to think 5 years down the line, is he a star in this league 5 years down the line? That would have been the best case. Like, that would have convinced me. Not the whole they need a wing here.
We can't tell whether either of these guys is going to be a star five years down the road. I'm taking the chance that the position fit is better to be a star 5 years down the road. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, and when I look at fit on this roster and the role that they're going to have, I don't think Ace Bailey comes in here and has a role that's going to maximize what his skill set is at this current time.
I don't know. They don't have a wing like that. They got Paul George. I know you love Justin Edwards, but he's not a certain thing. Maybe Ace Bailey gets that playing time and shows it.
Well, yeah, if they had drafted Ace Bailey, I don't think today I would have been like, oh, no. Justin Edwards' playing time has been taken away.
Well, the point is, we don't know anything. I know they got 9 guards. That's what I know. So I don't know how this is all going to sort out.
You're weeping today for Jared Butler's playing time?
Jared Butler, Ricky Council, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Jeff Doughton. What are they going to do with these guys, Ray?
Delaware needs players too, man.
610-632-0975. Back with the text board and your phone calls after this.
Andrew Salciunas.
roof down. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5. The Fanatic, 12 o'clock. You know what's coming up? The news at noon. Let's play a little game. It's not DB or not. It's a new game.
New game.
It's called Cringe or Cool.
Oh. I don't know.
Now, I refer you to yesterday's event in Sea Isle City, hosted by Jason Kelsey, that charity event where they get all kind of wild and crazy. A lot of people show up. He drinks with them. A lot of other Eagles are there. If you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the video, just Google it. Jason Kelsey, Sea Isle. It'll probably pop up. So Jason Kelsey has a tank shirt on and kind of rocky shorts. He climbs up on what looks like a lifeguard type of ladder. He gets on the base of it. He stands up, raises his arms, and then he goes down to his drawers and yanks off the shorts to reveal an American flag thong. My question, if you've seen that, cringe or cool? Because I got to be honest with you, I cringed. Now, I know you don't want to criticize Jason Kelsey, but when is enough enough?
Wait. Don't want to criticize Jason Kelsey. It's not that I don't want to criticize Jason Kelsey. It made me laugh. It's like, wow, look at that. That's a little ridiculous.
Was it a cringe or was it cool?
Yeah, you changed this to cringe or cool because you knew that I wasn't going to say he's a DB over this.
Right. Well, it's a new category.
Yeah,
it's
I didn't
not exactly DB or not. It's cringe or cool.
If I didn't cringe, then I guess I find it cool.
You found it cool.
Yeah.
You thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Is it enough now?
Well, he's going to do this event every year at this point, so.
No, I'm not talking about this event. In general.
What? Are you blaming?
In general, when is enough with Jason Kelsey?
Or a weekly podcast, this event, being on ESPN.
I'm just saying the outlandish things that he seems to want to do as a character instead of a human being who's retired.
But, like, if you want to do these things and it's fun for you.
I'm just asking the question how it's perceived.
Yeah, for me, it's like, wow, this guy's having a lot of fun.
For you, it's cool.
Yeah.
All right. For me, that moment yesterday when I watched it was cringe. And I showed it to a bunch of people. They all had the same reaction. Oh, they gotta get one of those. Oh.
So what makes you cringe about it?
The thong part of it makes me cringe.
Well, I mean, I would call it a Speedo.
It's like a Speedo thong type of thing. Like it was. I looked at it and I said, "Ugh." Like, why? You know, what's the point?
What is he's having fun?
Shock
he's
value,
enjoying retirement.
The shock value. You can't have fun without pulling off the shorts and revealing a Speedo.
It's funny. It's not
It
like
is.
Yeah. It's like, wow, look at that guy.
I guess I'm the get off my lawn, man.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like,
cringe or cool.
That being the thing you take exception to on Jason Kelsey. He's everywhere, but this is the event that he does every year. It's the Ocean Drive. It's not like this.
I was at the event a couple years. I get it. I know what it is. I know what it's about.
I mean, if he pulled this stunt at like the Union League.
I could see shotgunning a beer with people, guzzling a beer with people. You got to get on the thing and rip off your drawers, and you got some kind of thong on. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if the event was at Marion, I understand the concern over it. It's not exactly like the Ocean Drive has been a place for class for all these years.
I get it. But not many people are going to rip off their shorts to reveal a Speedo just because it's the Ocean Drive.
I mean, enough people probably walk off the beach to go there for a happy hour afterwards.
See,
I don't know.
This is the thing, doing it with a young guy like yourself. You're going to see something like that is cool. And that's fine. And that's why I asked, cringe or cool? I want to know, the people that saw that, was it cringe or cool?
I mean, just judging by the YouTube chat and a couple of texts I've gotten to, yeah, a couple of folks that we work with are not a fan of this one.
Really?
But we got Stanley in the YouTube chat, cringe. Dawood, I think, was bothered by it. J Kick says, yes, Mike, cringe. TU Owl says he'll be doing the naked bike ride next. Stanley says he should just grow up.
See? So a lot of feedback going cringe on that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand Kelsey fatigue. They're everywhere.
You
I
can't say cringe because you're too young to say cringe. Because you don't want people to say, "Well, you're an old man. You're 24 years old. You're 25 years old, and then you're like Mikey Miss. Get off my lawn."
It's not that I don't want people to say that about me. It's genuinely not how I felt. I watched it. I didn't cringe. I was like, wow,
because
that's
you're
crazy.
25 and you see that, you go, that's cool.
He's having fun in retirement.
All right,
He's
it's
partying.
Cool. For you, it's cool.
I enjoy partying. I think that's a fun thing.
The majority of people are saying cringe.
A lot of people in the YouTube chat here are saying cringe.
Okay.
Any guy in the
That's
thong
why
is
I wanted to
cringe.
bring it up. I just wanted to throw it out there and get the objective opinion on it because my first instinct was, oh. You know, I don't think that I'm an old man, get off my lawn type of guy.
Gene
I can roll with stuff.
Kelsey's so annoying and cringe, he needs to go away.
Well, there you go. And my concern for Kelsey is he's kind of ruining his goodwill by getting too goofy. That's all. I mean, you're a distinguished Hall of Fame worthy type of guy. You don't have to act like some bro all the time.
Is he acting like it, or is this who he is?
I don't know. I think he's pushing it. I really think he's embellishing the whole. I'm Jason Kelsey, and now I've created this character, this cartoon character for myself, and I worry about something like that. The man's a distinguished Hall of Fame NFL player. I don't know. You had to pull off your drawers and reveal a thong.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. Like, I'm not asking him to do that. I just saw the video and I didn't go, whoa. No.
All right. Well, most people did. Apparently, most people looked at it and said, a little cringy.
Yeah, I mean,
anybody say it was cool?
There was one here. Well, who was it? Said it, but yeah, no, most people agree with you on this one. So, I mean, I haven't looked at the text line yet, but the chat board said that.
Very interesting, because I thought a lot of people would say, leave Kelsey alone, man. He's cool.
Our own Maddie Menard
He's one of us.
said it was corny. I've gotten like 6 Ricky Bo texts now.
Ricky Bo?
Ricky,
texting in?
yeah.
Ricky Bo thought it was cringeworthy?
Ricky's cringing.
Uh-huh.
Norm from Mayfair, the text line, cringing. Texter here, we don't have a name for it, also cringing.
Uh-huh. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's my first instinct. I said, let me test this out with the people.
Oh, here we go. No. Don't worry. You're not going to get the man yelling at clouds here. Here's the Ricky Bo line for it. Uh-huh. Good thing to teach your kids.
Oh, there you go. He went kids.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, most of the people were howling. Most of the people, like that clientele that was down there for that, thought that was so cool. Yeah? There probably was a roar. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers take Edgecombe. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update with the third pick in last night's first round of the NBA draft. The 76ers took Baylor's VJ Edgecombe. The 6'4 guard boasts incredible athleticism and has defensive ability right away. He joins a crowded backcourt with that defensive ability will be what gets him on the floor and spoke last night about his approach on that end of the floor.
My mentality is not let nobody score. I hate to see other people score, man. That's just me. I just hate to see other people score, and I'm focused on that's my thing. I just do not like to see other people score.
Tonight, the 76ers have the opportunity to draft in the second round, currently hold the 35th pick. That gets underway at 8 o'clock tonight. The Phillies have struggled once again with the bats. They were shut out for a second consecutive night in the 2-0 loss to the Astros. It's the first time the Phillies have been shut out on back-to-back nights since August of 2022. They'll try to avoid being swept today at 2:10 with Christopher Sanchez on the mound against Hunter Brown for the Astros. And the Union last night ran their MLS unbeaten streak to 11 matches with a 1-0 win over the Chicago Fire. They remain at the top of the table. This update brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry it now through July 31st. Learn more at MBUSA.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sixers with a few picks in the second round. And there's some value early on in this round, and we'll talk about those in the 12 o'clock hour. We have the news at noon coming up. We have next that we have to get to regarding Ace Bailey and oysters, frankly. But it is a special day because we haven't heard from our man in a really long time. One of Ray's favorite callers is checking in from Arizona, Mitch, the great Mitch. Hello, Mitch. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Mike?
Good, Mitch. Haven't heard from you in a while. What are you doing? You broiling out there in Arizona?
Oh, it'll be broiling by Monday.
Uh-huh. What's it like out there now? Is it actually hotter here at 100 degrees than it is in Phoenix?
You know, I was looking at a couple of the games, like New York and whatever, and they said it was 100 degrees, but it didn't seem like the people were uncomfortable, so I guess it's not that bad.
Yeah, it is bad. It's bad.
Oh.
It's thick.
Yeah, you know, normally when you got a heat wave at a baseball game, people are like sweating and fanning themselves.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Well, what baseball game were you watching?
Anyway, what was I watching? Atlanta and the Mets.
Okay. City Field wasn't okay.
Well, I don't know. What can I tell you? Maybe people do better in the heat than they do in the cold.
Maybe. Wait, what's on your mind today?
Second round, I don't know who these people are. Maybe you know some of them. I would honestly think that the Sixers would want a big man in the second round.
I think you're right, and there are a couple going to be available, but there's also the kid from St. Joseph's who was not selected in the first round, whether the Sixers maybe move down a couple pegs. Their first pick is 35, I believe, right?
Yes.
So if they move down a couple of pegs, I would actually move down a couple of pegs. I would trade my back-end second-round picks to move up a little bit to take Rasheer Fleming from St. Joseph's.
What position does he play?
He's a wing player. He's a 6'8". He's got a 7'5" wingspan, and he can shoot the three.
Well, that sounds interesting.
It does.
But, you know, if this Embiid dude is not going to be able to play basketball, I mean, just not be able to play, you would think they'd want a 7-footer.
Yeah, well, you're not going to find a replacement for him. They had a chance to take
No, not a replacement. Just somebody as an insurance, you know, somebody that can guard another big guy.
Yeah, well, a second-round player is probably not going to be able to do that right away in the NBA. These young players are not going to be able to step in.
All right, what's the final score of the Phillies tonight?
Well, I don't know because they're facing a really tough pitcher. They have a chance to get swept. I'm thinking that Houston wins this game 3-2.
Wow, here we go.
And the Phillies get swept, Mitch. Give me the numbers. Give me the numbers on the pitcher they're facing tonight. His ERA is under 3, right?
His ERA is under 2. 188. He's 8-3 on the year.
Oh, man.
And a whip that's also under 1.
Oh boy. This kid's a stud.
Yeah, no, they're not going to have it easy today. I mean, you could be thrilled that he's a right-hander because at least that's a little change of scenery
you get your
for him.
left-handed lineup in there.
It has not been a good stretch down Houston. If they were ever going to have a bad stretch, while we were talking about the draft and they were coming off that Mets series, I guess they've timed it well PR-wise for them. Also, with the Mets not playing well, Mets finally winning again last night. So it's now only a half game in the division that the Phillies have to lead. But I would just like a reason to watch.
He played Marsh last night. It means he's down on Rojas, and he wanted to have Marsh to face the left-hander. He had Otto Kemp in the lineup, but Otto will be out there tonight. So are you thinking it'll be Marsh and Kepler back there in the outfield?
I would think it's Marsh and Kepler.
All left-handed tonight?
Yeah, I would think
Otto Kemp gets a rest from his weary legs.
No, probably first base, right? Unless they want to do the Sosa Bohm thing again at third and first.
Otto Kemp in the lineup again, playing first base tonight?
He's been in the lineup pretty consistently.
He has been, which I can't figure out why.
I mean, if you want to go
really
Sosa
they really like Otto Kemp.
you want to go Sosa at third and Bohm at first and want to keep Kemp out of the lineup, I'm not fighting you on that one.
All right.
Listen, you're not going to get me to dig in on what Otto Kemp's been so far. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for me to say...
You have not been a fan of Otto Kemp, have you?
It was a nice start, but I mean, people go back to that 3-hit night. The 2 of those 3 hits want to combine like 5 feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can't tell you. He had popped down to AAA. That's great. That's very nice. Plenty of guys have popped at AAA.
Yeah. Hunter Brown faces them tonight. 6'2", 220. He's 26 years old. Where did they get him? Is he through their system, or did they trade for him? 4-1, ERA at home, 1.19. Got 50 strikeouts at home. His strikeout to walk ratio is pretty damn good.
By the way, we do have a lineup since 2:10 start.
Okay, we do have the lineup.
Yes,
okay.
2:10 this afternoon. The Phillies down in Houston. So we got Turner, Schwarber, Bohm, Castellanos, Kepler, Kemp, Stott, Marchand, and Marsh.
Marchand in there tonight.
Well, this afternoon.
This afternoon, sorry. Hunter Brown, 109 Ks to 28 walks. He's given up 19 earned runs all season in 91 innings pitched. Whew. What's the story with this dude?
Yeah, 5th-round pick of them back in 2019.
Well, he's come into fruition. He's from Detroit, Michigan. Well, he should be a treat to watch tonight. Well, not for Philly fans, maybe. 610-632-0975. You're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, and we broadcast from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. It is lunchtime. Enjoy your lunch, everybody, over another rendition of The News at Noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the News at Noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, Ray, the News at Noon beginning today with, where are you going? You going into the basketball world, or are you going into Phillies world?
We're going into the basketball world.
Let's go into the basketball world. What are we starting with?
All right, a tough night for ESPN on a couple of fronts. Draft coverage last night. The first 2 we're going to highlight 2 pretty glaring mistakes that they made throughout there. And this was the draft flub that was heard around the world. The Portland Trailblazers taking Cedric Coward with the 11th overall pick. Unfortunately, that is not who Malika Andrews announced as the 11th overall pick for the Trailblazers.
So the Portland Trailblazers select Colin Coward here. This is a young man with the ultimate bet on yourself story.
This is a young man who's no longer young, but he does a show on Fox Sports. Come on, Malika. I guess that's it's an easy mistake to make, I guess. But did anybody correct her?
No.
No?
So no one corrected her because I'm sitting there at home and I did the exact opposite of what you did with the nice dinner last night. I ordered Chinese and I was sitting there just watching from the couch as the draft went on.
Yeah.
And I'm eating and I was like, wow, it kind of sounded like she said Colin Coward. And I'm like, nah, there's no way I had that. Like, I must just subconsciously last name Coward, put Colin instead of Cedric. So I rewound it. I listened again. I was like, oh my God, she said it. And I'm just listening, waiting for someone to be like, Cedric, or for us to get like a correction of like Cedric.
And they could have made a joke about it.
No.
Yeah, we have great respect for Colin, but this is Cedric. You know, they could have done that.
Well, Colin's taking his shots at the NBA coverage on ESPN now over the last couple months, so I don't know if they're going to be throwing any roses at his feet.
Okay, all right.
But
they ignored it completely. And when you ignore it completely, and people make fun of it.
Right. Oh, it went everywhere very quickly. Because I went on Twitter. I was like, I can't be the only person that heard the Colin Coward thing here.
Yep.
But Colin, how do you think Colin profiles as a basketball player?
I think he'd be slow.
Slow?
I think he'd be defensively a nightmare.
At 4, you taking Colin Coward or Con Knipple?
Oh. I don't know. Let's see. I might have to take Coward. No, I'll take Con Knipple over Colin Coward.
Coward did tweet about this last night.
He did?
He did, yeah. Let me pull it real quick, because I saw he chimed in as well about it, having fun with himself being drafted by the Trailblazers. We got a a Photoshop jersey of him. Blazers won, and I think Memphis ended up trading for Coward. He said nothing against Memphis, but this would have been epic. And it's him in a photoshopped into a Blazers jersey.
Wait a minute, isn't he from Portland? Didn't he do a shtick?
Yeah, I think that's where him and Scott.
That's where he started in Portland, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes, apparently I made a hell of an impact in Portland.
Oh, there you go.
There's his tweet.
All right, what's next?
All right, another flub for the ESPN crew. This one more in production than it is on any host. Earlier on, they were doing shots from the red carpet of the guys showing up, and they wanted to show you the potential number 1 overall pick, the guy we all thought was going number 1, Cooper Flagg. The issue is the graphic says Cooper Flagg, and the athlete in which they show you as they pan up from the shoes to the actual person is just not Cooper Flagg.
Welcome back to Sports Center. You're looking at Cooper Flagg, and in just over an hour from now, that is not Cooper Flagg at all, actually. That is quite famously Ace Bailey. There's Cooper Flagg. I was going to say no, that's not him either. That's not Cooper Flagg.
So, production crew on that one. Just, before you flash the graphic, wait for them to pan up from the shoes to the face.
Wait, that's not a white man.
No.
That's Ace Bailey.
It was Ace, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, a tough night.
Yeah.
Tough night on there. One thing that was very, very plentiful on the broadcast on ABC last night, Stephen A. Smith getting himself in a number of rants throughout the broadcast, and they were getting to the end of that first round. And Kevin Nagandi gave the space to say, the East is open, could be good for your Knicks. Yeah. And Stephen A. was not going to let that moment breathe without getting one rant in about his New York Knicks.
It feels like the Eastern Conference is wide open. It is. It is for the most part, but you can't sit up there and just catapult the Knicks to that level when you don't even have a coach. This has owner James Dolan written all over it. Because how do you get rid of a Tom Thibodeau who took you back-to-back 50-win seasons and within 2 games of a berth to the NBA Finals? If you want to go away from him because it was just time after 5 years, fine, but have a plan. The New York Knicks have asked for permission to talk to everybody but me, you, and Bob. That's about it. Everybody has got it. They've reached out to everybody, for crying out loud. It just makes no sense. I don't like it. I'm not happy about it, but I'm trying to hold out hope because they have improved. They're no longer basketball purgatory, but that does not mean that I am not annoyed at what I have been seeing them do. They look like, it just looks chaotic right now, and I don't like it one bit.
I gotta be honest with you. Steve's a buddy, right? You know that.
Uh-huh.
I can't deal with his New York Knicks stuff anymore. I just can't.
Whoa.
I couldn't care less that he's a Knicks fan.
Mike Missanelli is out on the Knicks?
I'm done with Stephen A. and his Knicks love. I don't like it. I don't like when the announcers go beyond the level of objectivity to root for a team. I don't like it. I don't like rooting.
Mike coming after Stephen A. Smith?
I think exactly come after him. But
that's the headline of this clip. Don't you worry.
I'm tired of it.
I've already forwarded it to Awful Announcing. We're going to have a full-blown beef by tomorrow when you show up.
610-620. Then throw freaking, what's his name in, too? Mike Greenberg. Throw him in the mix. I'm tired of that, too.
That beef isn't as fun. I don't want beef with Greenberg. Yeah, what's that going to guess?
Yeah, probably nothing. Mike Missanelli Show continues. Our lines are open right now, and we'll go back to our text board, 610-632-0975. Back after this. 12-12, Mike Missanelli Show. 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, day 2 prospects. I just had that up here. Here we go. Best available players for the second round. Let's check it out. So they've got Rasheer Fleming as the number 1 rated player for the second round so far.
Trade up. Let's do it.
Can the Sixers get to that spot? There's the other kid. I saw this kid. I like this kid a little bit. Maxime Renaud from Stanford. Have you seen him?
Can't say I caught a lot of Stanford this year.
Big man. Not smart kid. Good player.
Ooh, 22.
Ryan Kalkbrenner, I would never touch. That's the 7'5" kid from Creighton.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you. I did catch Creighton. I'm good.
Too slow. Noah Penda from Le Mans in France.
This is at least like someone when I read about, I get a little bit more intrigued about. I can't tell you that I've caught a lot of Le Mans and a lot of.
I don't know who he is.
Anything going on there?
Now, I've seen Adu Thero, who it was talked about by our previous caller from Arkansas, an elite defender with size, athleticism, and motor to guard up and down the lineup and carve out minutes that way. His inconsistencies as a three-point shooter and rumored concerns about his medicals likely contributed to his fall out of the first round, but he's a value selection. Cam Jones, love this kid. Tough. Marquette. Remember Cam Jones?
Yes.
Have you seen him?
Yes. Honestly, anyone out of the Marquette program, I usually stand.
I love this kid. He can have the ball in his hands, but also play the off. Yanni Broom has slipped way into the second round here, and he was neck and neck for National Player of the Year for a while, Ray.
Yeah, again, it's incredible the difference when you look at what happens for a guy, the way he gets built up as a college player versus what he ends up projecting out.
A little slow for the NBA.
Right. He made work at college. I don't know necessarily if I would be taking him.
Chaz Lanier, also mentioned a little earlier, from Tennessee, an elite shooter. You ready for this? He made 123 three-pointers at 40% this year for Tennessee.
Not bad.
He's a sniper. Now there's a kid from Serbia. Bogojub Markovic from Mega Superbet in Serbia. Just shy of 7 feet tall with a very impressive offensive skill set. Would the Sixers take a Euro?
Would they take... honestly, here I'm curious what they see in taking a young guy versus someone who's a little bit older where they think they can actually get a contributor out of them. Like, because they're already taking someone with upside as they're working on them. They see VJ Edgecombe able to produce day one, but they don't see his full game there. Or they're going to try and take someone in their 20s that they think could actually translate immediately.
Would you take a big if you're the Sixers?
Well, I wouldn't be against it. I mean, you did it last year in the second round.
Bono, right?
Yeah.
Sion James. Solid player. Don't know what kind of position he can play in the NBA. From Duke.
Yeah, the Athletic has, for their second round mock, has the Sixers going Proctor.
Ty Proctor?
Talking Duke.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with
you wanted a wing. Would you want to see them go wing here in this second round?
Yeah, I don't know what wing I would get, though, in the second round. I'm really interested in Fleming. I think it would behoove the Sixers to trade down, to trade into that area.
If he gets past the Timberwolves at 31, the Celtics at 32, maybe they take him. Like, when would you if they're not going to do it at 31? When would you say, hey, all right, get on the phone and you have to go make that call up to move up?
I would do it.
Right away?
Yep.
31?
I'd do it right away because now in the mock draft, they have Minnesota Timberwolves have that selection, and they're projected to take Rasheer Fleming. Boston Celtics are next, projected to take Maxime Renaud, the kid from Stanford, who I like. Charlotte next, Ryan Kalkbrenner in Charlotte. Well, they got time to develop him. Charlotte again, they got 2 picks there. Noah Penda, they're taking from France. And the Sixers at 35, Tyrese Proctor. You need another guard, though?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, you really Tyrese Proctor, Thero, the power forward to the Nets at 36. I'd probably take him over at Proctor. Jazz Lanier, the shooter. Jameer Watkins from Florida State. John Tanji from Wisconsin was a pretty good player. There's that Markovich again going to the Pelicans. A kid from Australia. Rocco Zaharsky to the Warriors. Sacramento Kings take Kobe Brea from Kentucky. Washington Wizards, Sion James from Duke. Yanni Broom goes to Oklahoma City Thunder, according to this mock draft. Alex Tui from Australia goes to the Bulls. The Orlando Magic take Cam Jones from Marquette. The Bucks take Javon Small from West Virginia. Micah Peavy from Georgetown goes to Memphis. Vladislav Golden, the center from Michigan who came out of, he was the kid in Florida first.
Right, Florida Atlantic.
Chiseled center with great size and length. You be interested in him?
I mean, if they move back, I don't think if they take it, if they're at 35.
First Villanova player off the board at 51, according to this mock draft. The Clippers take Eric Dixon.
Him and, Fleming's obviously a name people are watching around here. Williams from Kentucky was at Drexel. I think a lot of people are watching here. I know tonight for me, I'll be seeing if Settle gets a Summer League invite or, hope that he gets. I think I'm probably false hope that he gets a second-round pick. But I know that a lot of teams have been talking about Steve Settle from Temple as either undrafted free agent or like bare 50s. Way at the end there.
There's another Niang in this draft.
Another Niang?
Yeah. Yeah. From Trento, Italy.
Well, that changes everything.
Is he any relation to George?
No, I would doubt.
Yeah, you think?
Doubt any relation there.
All
Niang or Bang Bang George Niang is
Bang Bang George Niang, now a Celtic.
Yes, but also a Massachusetts native.
He's a Massachusetts native. This kid, we don't know about this kid being where
Isn't he?
It says he's playing in Italy.
Salciunas Yang. Let's see.
Playing in Italy.
Yeah, no.
No,
no,
not from. All right. Ryan Nembhard, another Nembhard in the league, Gonzaga, Houston, and that's the end of the first round.
If you're a team, do you put any stock in what the brother does to help the other brothers draft stock out? Like watching what Nembhard did this postseason.
Would I take another Nembhard?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's a solid player. Kid's a solid player.
You could think he's a solid player, but is there any benefit to the way his brother played in the postseason for his draft stock? Like, how much do you think teams actually value? Oh yeah, wow! Look what his brother did.
Yeah,
maybe that's something.
Yeah, they probably don't value it.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, they probably don't. All right, we got a couple calls on hold. We'll go back to our text board. We got Brian checking in, and we got B who wants to check in on the Kelsey situation, where I said cringe or cool. So far, everybody that I've talked to, everybody has said cringe. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The 76ers take Edgecombe. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. With the third pick in last night's first round of the NBA draft, the 76ers took Baylor's VJ Edgecombe. The 6'4 guard boasts incredible athleticism and defensive ability. He joins a crowded backcourt where that defensive ability will be what gets him on the floor. He spoke last night about his approach on that end of the floor.
My mentality is not let nobody score. I hate to see other people score, man. That's just me. I just hate to see other people score, and I'm focused on. That's my thing. I just do not like to see other people score.
As for tonight, the second round of the draft gets underway at 8 o'clock. Sixers currently holding on to the 35th pick in that second round. Phillies bat struggled once again last night, shut out for a second consecutive evening in a 2-0 loss to the Astros. It's the first time the Phillies have been shut out on back-to-back nights since August 2022. They'll try to avoid being swept today at 2:10 with Christopher Sanchez on the mound against Hunter Brown for the Astros. And the Union last night ran their MLS unbeaten streak to 11 matches with a 1-0 victory over Chicago Fire. Union remain at the top of the table. This update brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first. Brookwood, today, you're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
12:26, Mike Missanelli Show. By the way, on the broadcast last night, Ray, did you happen to catch Dylan Harper's moms?
I did.
Uh-huh.
That's actually a neighbor of my cousin's.
Really?
Yes.
She's a neighbor of your cousin?
Yes. So.
Pretty sharp. Sharp mom.
If you'd like to meet her, I think I could arrange that.
She's a sharp mom. Ron Harper's ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
Ron was sitting down. He wasn't joining that whole festive situation with the moms and the two Harper brothers.
No. I cut the camera right to him. What, about halfway through that interview?
Must be still beef.
Well, no.
Must be beef between ex.
How many divorces end in, happiness? Yeah.
Well, none. But a lot of years have gone by, probably. Can you bond together for your son's draft night?
Well, if they're sitting at the same table.
Well, could you join the picture? Like when she's with the two kids? Can you, come in the background? Is that a violation?
I mean, I don't know how it ended, so I don't really know how to levy out the different sides of this thing. If it ended pretty ugly and it was his fault,
I was just saying, Dylan Harper's mom. Uh-huh.
But I think a lot of people on social media had a similar takeaway as you to that one.
Chloe Kitts. Uh-huh.
I also think a lot of people on social media had similar takeaways as you.
Let's go back to social media. Let's look at our text board. What are they saying? What's the oyster text?
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. This got buried by the Kelsey chaos.
Oh, really? Okay.
But there was someone wanted to tell you that it is an aphrodisiac, that you don't worry, it is. I don't want any more from that person. Please don't text us ever again.
Didn't get the itch.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Where is this? Someone wanted to try. Oh, someone said that you want to make sure that you actually do take a bite of the oyster. Yeah. Because if you don't, you won't be able to taste whether or not it's a bad oyster or not. So they're concerned about your well-being.
I did slide one down. The second one I did bite.
Okay.
And I did get a nice taste out of it.
Okay, so they were concerned about your health and well-being on that one.
Yeah, we ordered a stack of 24 out of the chute when we sat down. And I'm not an oystersmith. No, I have three buddies were. So I got a small one. I got, all right, let me try it. Let me slide it down. Slid it down. Second one was a little bigger. So I put it in the mouth, gave it a little chew, and then slid it down. And it was briny. A little hot sauce. I can tolerate it now, I think.
Glad.
But I'm just not a shellsman.
Yeah,
I eat out of a shell.
I wasn't an oyster guy until I went to New Orleans. And I went to the oyster bar, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good.
You eat crawfish?
I don't think I've ever had crawfish.
All right. You eat lobster?
Yeah.
Okay. Lobster, I'm lukewarm on. I'll eat it, but scallops? No go for scallops for me. Crab? Nope.
Big fan of crab?
Yeah. Well, occasionally I'll go for a king crab where I can take the meat out and you got something substantial. But I'm not sucking down those blue claws like people do.
Yeah, I'm a
crack
fan.
every part of them and get a little bit of meat. That's too much work for me, man.
Oh, it's a lot of work. I only do it once a year. We do it. It's our Father's Day tradition.
Yeah,
Sit down with the beer.
The Italians have the big spaghetti and crab thing. I never really got that part.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. It's good. It's a good time.
Yeah, I'm a weirdo.
No.
Yeah.
Not about that.
Let's go to the calls and talk to. I guess Brian's been hanging for a while. Brian in Frankfurt, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Brian?
What's up, Mike? It's Ryan. Mike, what's up, though?
What's up, Brian? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Calling to talk about VJ, the pick we took last night.
Yep.
Going into it, I wasn't too thrilled. When I found out we were going to select him, I kind of wanted the wing player because I felt like we got enough, 6'4" guards on the team already.
Yep.
But this morning I woke up and I'm looking at it a little different. I'm just looking at it like, because we could have lost the pick. So I'm looking at it like we got a free agent, a 6'4" young free agent, an addition. But I really wanted the wing player or maybe even a center. I was hoping that they made a trade back and picked up an extra first-round pick,
Yeah, like I said yesterday, I would have traded back. I would have took Malawak. I think he's going to pay big dividends in the league. Now, but I'm not disappointed at Edgecombe. But at 3, I would have. If I'm going to take a player, I would have taken the wing player at 3 if I stayed, and I would have taken Ace Bailey.
Exactly. Me as well, Mike. Me as well. And I'm just going to be, happy with the guy. Look at it like a free agent. Like I said, we got a young guy that we could have not had anybody.
So, he's going to be excited. He's going to come down on a break. He's going to jam over somebody. He's going to posterize a couple people. He's got this kind of hops, and people are going to love that about him. Ace Bailey wouldn't have done that. Ace Bailey's just going to stroke a three-pointer.
Yeah. But sometimes you need that, Jack. Mike, I heard guys talking about, he's not going to come in and he wouldn't pass the ball or, he wouldn't have got a shot being on the court with Embiid and Paul George. Sometimes you need a guy to just come in and look for his shot and don't give it to nobody.
Yeah, I hear you.
Need that at times.
I got you. Now, he's not that great of a three-point shooter right away. He's going to be taking the ball to the basket a lot. So we'll see how that works in the NBA when guys are ready for it.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, man. Thanks, Rye.
All right.
I appreciate the call. Let's go to we got B in Westchester. I want to talk about the Kelsey, Morey, Dombrowski. Well, he's got three things he wants to talk about. Go ahead, B. You're on.
Yo, Mikey Miss.
Yo, B. What's up?
Daryl Morey, I'm listening to you play the clips earlier, and it's just like, it's got me thinking, what is his pedigree? Why is he an NBA executive? Because he just sounds to me like a bumbling salesman, and he talks, both sides out of the mouth. He hasn't won anything. There's way more bad moves than good, and I don't understand. It's just something I've always wanted, and I never got your say.
Well, here's where he got his claim to fame as the analytics guy, and then he assembled a team in Houston that was unlike any other team in the NBA, where he went small, and they ran, and they did this, and they had a superstar, and so he believes in stars. Now, where he is actually, he's got an MBA from MIT and a bachelor's in computer science from Northwestern University. So he's a smart guy, and he worked with a sports data firm called Stats Inc. And that's where that baseball guy Bill James worked at. So he brought that analytics thing to the NBA. Now, I don't know where it went because now he morphed into this guy who wants to get aging stars. And to me, that's the opposite of analytics.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And he hasn't won anything. So the pedigree, so I guess it's just based off, he's a smart guy, even though there's no real track record. I mean, he built a good team in Houston, but that team didn't yield any championships either. And then he gets attached to, Harden, which I wasn't, totally against the Harden deal, but that we saw how it ended, and we didn't get anything here for that. So, I mean, I just never understood that. The one thing I'll at least give him credit for.
Yeah, he made his bones be with the Boston Celtics. He left that company to become senior vice president of operations for the Celtics, and he used analytical methods and technology to enhance basketball decisions for them. Houston picked up on that, and they hired him when their general manager in 2006 was booted. So that's where he made his bones.
Yeah, I don't like it, Mike. I don't see us getting us a championship with all that accolades.
We shall.
I will give him credit
see.
for it. I don't think I've heard him say.
We shall see. He admitted he uses AI to help make key team decisions and moves. So hopefully, this AI pays dividends with VJ.
At least he doesn't call the team a club like I hear Dombrowski. He loves to say, we got a good club here.
Yeah, you're right.
But on Kelsey though, real quick, it's definitely it's got to be cringe. It's one of those things where you see it happen and you just ask, why? For who? For what? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, I don't know why you have to be a character all the time. I just don't get it.
But the real violation is the Kelsey fanboyism, which I've been anti that for a while.
Yeah.
Or even back when he was playing, where it was an untimely penalty late in the game or a bad snap that stalls a drive late in the game at a big moment. All that stuff was just overlooked or even excused because of the Kelsey fanboyism, which I think is a violation.
There's a lot. There's a lot of
subsiding.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kelsey fanboyism. You're absolutely right. And see, this is why young people eat this up. Young people don't want to act wild. They're still in their wild stage. They see a grown man like Kelsey acting wild, and it gives them sanction. Right? It's like, hey, man, he's one of us. He's an everyman. But he's not an everyman. He's a retired Hall of Fame caliber football player. He doesn't have to be an everyman at this stage of his life. 610-632-0975. We'll get back to playing the comments of Daryl Morey. Again, tomorrow's a big day. Edgecombe's going to speak. We're going to have, we'll hopefully have VJ Edgecombe's college coach, Scott Drew, on tomorrow. And also today, a little later in the 1 o'clock hour, Governor Josh Shapiro with his views on his beloved Sixers and the drafting of VJ Edgecombe. Couple of open lines on the phone lines, 610-632-0975. And, of course, your texts are always welcome. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
ESPN's Adam Schefter.
If Jalen Carter dials it up again, do they sit down and try to get a contract extension done with him after this season? That would be something that would be within the realm of possibility. And you look at all the young players that they have on defense and all the young players that they want to keep around. You know, there are these contracts dangling out there, big money for all these guys if they can step up and continue the performances that they've engaged in.
Every Wednesday at 8 with Kincade and Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic and
Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. We've heard a lot from Daryl Morey from last night after the selection of VJ Edgecombe. Day 2 of the NBA draft. Maybe they grab a player, a big in the second round of this draft. We'll wait and see. Phillies this afternoon with a ball game after losing 1-0 or 2-0 last night. Again, did not get the big hit. Had a golden chance in the 8th inning with a 1-out single, and then Turner singling, and then Schwarber with an infield hit to load the bases with 1 out. You got to put the ball in play, and Alec Boehm struck out swinging. And with 2 outs, believe me, that other team does a sigh of relief because they got 1 batter to get out, and that was Castellanos. He grounded out, and there he was. Hader closes out another game for the Houston Astros. I wonder if they can use Hader again tonight. Remember, he's won 2 nights in a row. Maybe he's not available tonight. And the Phillies are up against a really tough pitcher tonight. But the big story is what the Sixers did last night with VJ Edgecombe. So let's play Daryl Morey talking about how super excited he is about VJ. This is Daryl Morey 1, Ray.
We're super excited about VJ, what he can bring to the team. Brings a dynamic athlete, potential all-star, two-way player. Really helped his team. He's got all these winning qualities that we think really fit. Great teammate. His story and what he's done to get to this point is really unbelievable. And we think he's on a great trajectory to take where he's come from and continue to improve through Baylor all the way through a very long and very promising NBA career. And we're excited it's here at the 76ers.
All right, let's the character that he's talking about. That's the interview on NBA TV last night. They interviewed him a couple of times, and he had some really interesting things to say. So let's start out with what he said about when he started talking about his mom and what they had to go through. This is NBA TV 1, and then we'll roll 2 right into that.
It is, man. Hold on, man. My guy just got drafted, man. Yeah, Trey.
Trey Johnson.
My dog, man. But back to you. I'm sorry. But man, that's what I'm here for, man. I know you see the emotions on my mama's face. She worked too hard, man. She worked too hard, especially for me, my brother, my little sisters, and my little brother. So, man, I'm just wanting to return the favor for her, man.
All right. So now he talked about what his mom actually had to go through here.
Man, them long nights. I'm telling you, I lived off a generator. I ain't had no electricity. I lived off a generator for 7 years. Man, seeing what she had to go through to feed us, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I don't even know, man. My mind everywhere right now, man.
All right, there you go. Let's just roll him. He's going to roll now. He has some advice for young kids. That's NBA TV 3.
Don't stop working. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't. I mean, I heard that a lot growing up. Me and my cousins, we all heard that a lot, that you can't do it, you can't do it. Man, I'm telling you, you have confidence in yourself, you have faith in yourself, and in the Lord, man, I promise you, you're going to be just fine.
All right, it is an interesting story. He's a Bahamian kid, a Bimini, and he did get to Florida when he was, I guess, a sophomore, and then he wound up at Long Island Lutheran. Is that what his story is?
I don't know the exact high school.
So he played in American high school for 3 years, and he was considered one of the top 2 talents with Cooper Flagg. I remember watching a couple of high school all-star games that he was involved in, and they were talking about VJ Edgecombe a lot, along with Cooper Flagg and this other guy, AJ DeBanta, who is attending high school for his last year in Utah. And from what I understand, the plan out there is to get A.J. DeBanta, too. Like, Utah's going to stink again, and they draft a kid who's now in their backyard. And so they got 3 monster high school players that they're going to pair up.
I don't know. With Ace Bailey, it could be tough to stink.
Yeah. Well, I would have taken Ace, as you know.
I know. No, I got a call last night that the Sixers are going to regret this when he wins Rookie of the Year this year.
Well, Ace Bailey?
Yeah.
Who called you? Friend of yours?
No.
What?
People that are listening to the station.
People that are listening to the station?
I was on last night.
Oh. So you were doing the show, and it was a call-in saying they're going to regret it.
Yes, that he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
He might. He might win Rookie of the Year. You never know.
You bet against Cooper Flagg?
No. But it's possible that Ace Bailey scores a lot for a team that needs scoring. He's going to get an opportunity to play a lot of minutes and therefore be able to score a lot of points.
If the Mavs have the bounce back that they have and Cooper Flag plays well, I don't think anyone's went and taken that off the mantle from him.
No, you're probably right. But I can't rule out anybody, really, in the first couple of picks. I can't rule out Dylan Harper being Rookie of the Year.
He could fit in well there, too.
All right. Let's go back to Daryl Morey. Daryl, we even heard a couple of these. So Daryl feels fortunate despite the picture of him going around social media. What was that about? Let's play Daryl Morey 4.
Fortunate. I mean, people were making fun of me because I think they saw someone freeze the picture of the video where Elton and Nick are just happy and I'm just like collapsed and like I don't even know what I was feeling because that was a rough year for the fans, primarily a rough year for coach, nurse, ownership, the players, and if we would have left that without like a guy who could be a potential all-star for us, that was going to be really tough, and we even got some good fortune to move a little higher. So yeah, I would say feel very fortunate in many ways.
Okay, so there was a picture of Daryl Morey going around where it looked like he was disgruntled?
I guess. This is the first time.
I didn't see that.
No, I was chronically online all through last night. I guess this one escaped my timeline as well. Even looking it up right now. Who the hell's got the picture of Daryl Morey disgruntled? Maybe it was at the lottery when they got 3 when he was disgruntled. Maybe that's where they're asking the picture of.
Who's Nick that he's talking about?
Nurse, I assume.
Oh, Nick Nurse. Yeah, that would figure. Okay. All right, so let's go with Daryl Morey 11, talking about the big 3 wanting to come to the workout.
I would say it was awesome. All 3 are key guys. Wanted to come to the workout. Scheduling wise, it worked out for Tyrese and not the other guy. Tyrese them for quite a while. Just fit wise, I think the good thing is Tyrese's high basketball IQ. He understands that like those two complement each other very well in terms of like VJ is going to be able to guard multiple positions, probably take the toughest assignment, maybe not day one, but over in his career, and then Tyrese and him are really play off of each other well.
So the big 3, meaning Maxey, Embiid, and George, wanted to come to the workout, but somehow only one of them came. That's what you just got out of that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's encouraging. What's the last one? I got to go with this because the man who could be an example for VJ, Daryl Morey 12.
On the offensive side, and these are things he knows, like being able to shoot off the move, his spot up and shots that are sort of generated for him, he makes at a high rate. Shoot off the move. I think I was actually speaking with Eric Gordon, who took this leap. He came into the league athletic, wasn't a good finisher. VJ isn't quite there yet and recognizes it. And I think someone like Eric, who took a big leap in finishing by working on his craft, his footwork, his timing, his takeoff points, he really improved that in the sort of the early parts of his career. And so that's another, just off the top of my head. But he has like that base athleticism, physical tools, and the work ethic that you see he could grow into all these things. Obviously, you'll have to do it, but yes.
So he has to work on finishing. He has to work on making the three-point shot because his percentage of Baylor wasn't that great. So there's a lot to work on. So I mean, how much do they get out of this kid next year? This is why I thought Ace Bailey would have been a better selection, because at least you're going to get the 3 ball out of Ace Bailey. You can count on that. Get a good stroke. All right. There you go. VJ Edgecombe. How do you feel about it? 610-632-0975. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
76ers take Edgecombe. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. With the 3rd pick in last night's first round of the NBA draft, the 76ers took Baylor's VJ Edgecombe. The 6'4" guard boasts incredible athleticism and defensive ability. He joins a crowded backcourt where the defensive ability will be what gets him on the floor. And he spoke last night on his approach on that end of the floor.
My mentality is not let nobody score. I hate to see other people score, man. That's just me. I just hate to see other people score, and I'm focused on that's my thing. I just do not like to see other people score.
Coming up at 1:15, the governor, Josh Shapiro, will join us to give a breakdown of what he feels the 76ers did in the draft. Of course, his outlook on the Sixers and probably the Phillies. I imagine we'll get into more Philly sports conversation with him. As for the Sixers tonight, they have the 35th pick in the draft as the second round gets underway at 8 o'clock tonight. The Phillies bat struggled once again last night, shut out for a second consecutive evening and a 2-0 loss to the Astros. It is the first time the Phillies have been shut out back-to-back nights since August 2022. They'll try to avoid being swept today at 2:10 with Christopher Sanchez on the mound against Hunter Brown for the Astros. And the Union last night ran their MLS unbeaten streak to 11 matches with a 1-0 win over the Chicago Fire. Union still top of the table. This update is brought to you by Vital Strategies. Opioid overdoses can happen at any time, but Noxalone can save a life. It's easy, safe, and free. Be ready. Carry Noxalone. Learn more at youcansavelives.org. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Josh Shapiro is going to join us in 1 o'clock hour. He wants to opine on what the Sixers did yesterday. Of course, he loves the Sixers, loves all Philadelphia sports teams. I'm thinking that the governor likes the pick, right? Are you feeling that?
I'm also feeling that. I think he's going to like the pick here. He was out on Ace Bailey, so I think that's a good
Yeah,
first
he was
step.
out on Ace Bailey. He would never take Ace Bailey because of his reluctance to work out and to go through the process. Disrespectful, he thought it was.
One thing I would love for you to ask him when we have him.
Mm-hmm.
The dome conversation.
The
and
dome,
a new
meaning
Eagles stadium.
the bomb protection dome? Or
No. No, I was going more Eagles
I know.
stadium conversation.
I was being facetious.
I mean, if you get
Eagles
into that, I'll just
Stadium.
be sitting here listening. So
Yeah, the Eagles Dome Stadium is what you want.
Would be in favor of that? Also, would any money be going to the Eagles if they tried to do that?
State money, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I see where you're going with that. Okay, that's actually pretty good.
Thank you.
Anything else you want me to?
No, that's about all I got for you. No.
That's it?
I'm good for one good idea a week, so I'm
Okay.
tapped out.
All right, let's get back to the text board and see what they're saying about the Kelsey thing or VJ Edgecombe or the Phillies. There's a lot of topics out there today.
And we've got a text that's driving me nuts right now. So I just want it. Ben from Delco keeps texting in incessantly.
Mm-hmm.
Who did better in the draft, Flyers or Sixers? The Flyers draft tomorrow. I can't tell you that. So please stop.
The Flyers are taking Ace Bailey tomorrow. That would be a good hockey name, too. In fact, there was a hockey player named Ace Bailey. Check it out. Ace Bailey, Boston Bruins.
Ace Bailey of the Boston
Ace Bailey, Boston Bruins.
Should the Flyers have taken Ace Bailey 6-1?
There you go. Ace Bailey. Am I right about this?
Yeah, Garnett Edward Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey
Was a Canadian professional ice hockey player and scout
for the Boston Bruins.
All right, wait, what the hell?
How about that pull?
That was a great pull.
I don't know hockey. You don't know your hockey, Mike.
Wow, look at this guy. He had a 58-point season between
There you go.
St. Louis and Washington back in 75.
There were a lot of guys named Ace back in the day. A lot of hockey players.
A lot of them?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a nickname-driven sport, really.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the nicknames.
What's Ace Bailey's real name?
Oh, they
Not
said
the
it
hockey
last night.
player, but does he have a real name, or was he always
I think
Ace?
they said it last night, Jared, when he was picked.
Yeah?
Arias?
Ace Bailey?
Yeah, Arias Ace
Oh,
Bailey.
okay, I like that.
That's the last
I
thing.
like Ace as a nickname. That's a cool
Yeah,
nickname.
nickname's cool.
Yeah.
Kevin from Pine Hill, getting back to Ace specifically. Ace has bust written all over him. Kid wants the lifestyle, but doesn't appear like he wants to grind.
Well,
for
how
it.
do we know that? How do we know that he has bust written all over him that he wants the lifestyle? Like, how do you come to that conclusion that he wants the lifestyle but he doesn't want the game?
Something that we talked about on this show before was that record that they had at Rutgers, and whether or not you held that against him.
I did not. I never held that record against him. If you're a player, you're a player. Was the record held against him? He's considered a top 5 pick. I'll tell you, he still was a top 5 pick. The record was so held against him. You look at his skill set. That's what you look at. You don't look at the record of his team. That's just Ben Simmons is ruining it for everybody. This damn Ben Simmons.
Well, I had Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz, that team wasn't any good either, right?
That's what I mean. That's if you're talking about what's ruining it for people.
All right. I just there's so many players in the NBA that didn't come from great programs.
To follow up on that, because it's another text that follows this same ilk. Des from South Philly. Mike, I don't understand why you'd want to draft Ace Bailey and deal with more drama. Are you tired of diva-like behavior? If Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz taught us anything, it's that it doesn't matter how much talent you have if you don't have the right mindset.
How do you know if you're going to have diva behavior? All the kid did, he didn't work out for teams. And frankly, it's not necessary to work out for teams. And that was confirmed by what Daryl Morey said. He said he puts 0.0% in workouts. It doesn't matter. His agency said, why you got to work out? He's going to be a top 5 player anyway. Why do I have to work out? I can only hurt myself if I work out.
Now, to that point, what you said about Morey, though, he said he put 0.0 in workouts.
Meet the kid. He could meet the kid. Yeah, I understand.
And then
I
he
had dinner
lied
with the kid.
Like, he did take value in meeting the person. And Ace didn't want to meet. I mean, it seemed like from his representatives, all the reporting indicates he wanted to be in Washington. He didn't get to Washington. He tried to play his leverage, and his leverage played him all the way to Salt Lake City.
Okay, so he'll be fine in Salt Lake City. No matter where he ended, it's not like his attitude. So we're not even going to draft him. He just did one thing. He didn't want to work out.
Well,
he didn't want to work out for teams, and frankly, I don't blame him.
He also wanted the path to superstardom. Was the other thing that was reported about him. He wants to be a superstar. He wants the superstar path. Did that path exist here with the names you have right now on this roster?
I mean, who knows if he's going to be a superstar? Who knows? We'll see when he starts to play.
But he wanted that usage.
But to say, I don't want an attitude problem, you can't make that leap. Oh, he's going to be an attitude problem because he didn't want to work out. 610-632.
It's not just the working out thing.
What is it? What else is it?
Because the not working out comes following. He wants the usage of a superstar, meaning he wants to dictate how much he's already getting in terms of the offense wherever he goes.
Guess what?
And
he got it.
He did.
He got it.
He didn't get his location. He got half of what he wanted.
If they orchestrated it, he's got an opportunity now. He's going to play a lot of minutes. He could be the rookie of the year. He could really emerge because he's getting playing time. So I guess he played it right.
Well, he ended up in Utah.
I'm just saying, I would have taken him. I would have taken him at 3. You're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show. It's on WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting every day live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. We're going to hear from the governor in a little bit, but I want to hear from VJ Edgecombe because there was an interview that they did with him post-selection on ESPN. So instead of little snippets, can we get the full interview here? This is like a full minute-plus interview, Ray? All right, let's hear from VJ.
VJ, mom, Bendra, brother, Ritario, I want you to watch this.
This is Monica
when
McNutt,
VJ's name was called a few minutes ago. Tell me, what's going through your mind, Mom?
I'm a talk, bro, man. Super excited. We came from nothing. Man. We're truly blessed just to be in this position, man. I know the emotions is high right now, so I'm just letting it be right now, all right? But the emotions super high, but we came from nothing. So that's why the emotions are so high right now, man.
In your feature, VJ, we saw you talking about playing basketball in the Bahamas, 12-year-old playing against men. I'm not going to ask you, I'm just your brother. When you saw your brother at 12 playing against big grown men, did you think that tonight was possible?
I'm actually lost for words right now. My brother saw this dream before I did or before anyone else in my family even did. I'm so proud of him. He got me in tears and I don't even cry.
Man, I don't know. I don't got no words either, man. I'm blessed. Me third pick. I mean, it's a dream come true, man. I spent countless years just sitting there watching Jack, bro. So I don't even know. I don't know what to do, man.
You good, Mom? How proud are you of your son?
Proud. Super proud. Like you said, we came from nothing into everything. It's screaming to the world. Screaming to the world.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations, VJ and family. Back up to you guys.
All right, that was cool. You know what sticks out to me when I hear all these interviews, when a female interviewer is asking the questions. Does it seem weird to you that players go, I'm blessed to be in this position, man, and they use man all the time, even though it's a female that's interviewing them?
So I noticed what you were saying last night when every player kept saying it.
Man.
And I think it's just more the expression of speech at this point.
It is. It is now turned into an expression of speech.
Right.
Oh, what's up, man? Yeah.
It's like the old tossing out like guys.
Yeah.
When you're just talking about a collective group of people.
Right.
Where it does feel weird. Like you kind of
used to feel weird to me. Now it doesn't.
Yeah. Like when someone calls it, like we've had AB in here and someone will call it and be like, good morning, guys.
What's up, man?
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
And I think it's just that figure of speech.
Yeah.
That is kind of taken over.
Like, what else would you say? Yeah, no, man. I'm blessed to be in this position, woman. Like what?
Oh yeah, no, that sounds bad. That sounds really bad, actually.
How about? Well, I'm blessed to be in this position, yo. Is yo better than man?
How many people are still throwing yo at the end of sentences?
I don't know.
I mean, the only person I'm hearing throw around yo is the unfiltered pro.
I kind of like yo.
Yo, guys, Bill Colarulo.
I kind of like yo.
You're big. Oh, you are a big Yo's man.
Yeah, I kind of.
You're a big Yo Holmes.
I kind of. Yeah, I kind of.
Yo Holmes.
I could still like the yo in the Holmes.
Yeah, but the yo at the end of the sentence. You're not throwing a yo at the. You could throw the yo at the beginning.
What's up, yo?
Yeah, the end of the sentence
I kind of
now.
like it. I know it's dated, but I kind of still like it.
You can pull off the what's up. Yo.
I can? What's
I don't
up,
think
yo?
I don't think
I
the,
go bro
athletes.
most of the time. What's up, bro?
Yeah, that's still a good end of the sentence.
Yeah.
If you started your sentence with bro, that's interesting. Do you start many conversations
No,
with bro?
I never start a conversation with bro. I end it. It's always my end word.
So I think you almost have the ability to end a conversation with a yo, end a conversation with bro.
Yeah,
I don't think I could end a conversation
I go
with
bro
you.
without yo.
We're almost flipped. I think I could start a conversation with bro and it would sound natural.
Really? I'll give you an example of that. Hey, bro, what are you doing?
No, it has the first word bro.
Oh, bro.
But it's a very bro-y thing to do. Like I don't even want to say it on
Bro.
on air. Bro, what are we doing tonight?
Bro,
what's going on?
I got you.
Yeah, like that. I think you could definitely pull off ending the sentence with bro.
Yeah, but that's only like, how you doing, bro? That's the only context I use it.
Yeah. I don't really think I do a lot of bro. What are we
A
doing
lot
tonight?
of it is because I have a problem with recollecting names right away of people that I don't know intimately. So it's a cover.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a
Like we
man's
got a
man.
bunch of Brandons and Brendans in here, and sometimes I can't keep them straight. So I go, "What's up, bro?"
Yeah. I'm a big what's up man guy. I was out. Oh, this is bad. Yeah. I was out Saturday night. My brother was with me. Someone came up to me and said hi. I was like, "Oh man, what's up? How you doing?" And the whole thing. And my brother walked away. He was like, "Who is that?" I was like,
You don't know.
I was like,
I
"Yeah,
don't
it was
know.
a
Somebody
cover."
recognize you. Happens to me all the time. Happened to me last night. I'm walking into the restaurant from my parking space, and somebody goes in Bristol street corner. Wake you miss? I go, yo, what's up? I go, you live in Bristol? He goes, no, we're from Ben Salem. I go, anyway, Mike.
I just heard there was a sighting in town at Mike Miss.
Yeah, it was a sighting.
Came running.
And he go, what do you? I go, I'm just going to a restaurant around the corner here. Oh yeah, I go, this is my hometown. I go, yeah, I know it's your hometown. I'm glad to meet you. That was cool. Mike Missanelli Show. Governor Shapiro coming up shortly. Stay tuned. On the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. We didn't have any Eagles talk at all today, which is fine. That wasn't the newsworthy stuff for today. The big newsworthy stuff is that the Sixers go through a draft, and they're going through one tonight to see if they can get a bargain in the second round. But, I'm looking at the Sixers now, and I see 10 guards. Maxey, McCain, Grimes, Edgecombe, Eric Gordon, Kyle Lowry wants to come back for a year. Jared Butler, who they got to trade. Ricky Council, who they think has, some kind of ability. Jalen Hood-Schifino and Jeff Dalton. That's 10 guards. How many will still be here? And the question I ask about V.J. Edgecombe is, what's different about V.J. Edgecombe from Ricky Council? They're both kind of wild. They both kind of dunk. They both kind of run the floor. They both kind of defend. Neither of them shoots that well right now. So, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. All right. In the meantime, Monster Sixer fan, usually known as Josh from Juniata, checking in on the Sixers draft. And I think he's going to be happy with the draft. He, of course, is the governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. He's the great Governor Josh Shapiro. Mr. Governor, how are you today?
Mikey, I'm a happy Sixers fan this morning. I'll tell you what, I'm feeling good.
You are happy about this selection?
Hell yeah. Come on, I think VJ's going to be a great addition to the Sixers. I mean, he's only 6'4", but the dude is long. He's got those long arms. He's got a defensive intensity that's great. He can jump through the ceiling of the gym. And he seems to just want to be here. And he's studious about the game. He's grateful for where he is in life. And I just think he's going to bring that added dimension to the practice court and ultimately to game time. I'm just a great pick.
You were on the record saying Ace Bailey did not float your boat. Tell us why.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to give the kid a hard time, and I wish him well in Utah, but here's my bottom line. You don't want to be here, I don't want you to be here. And the reality is, look, I mean, every...
Oh, no. Oh, we're fading out. Fading out with the governor.
Maybe the top 10's a little better than the next 10, but they're exceptional talents. And so the difference, I think, in being a star in the NBA is beyond talent. It's, do you have that Mamba mentality, right? Do you want to kill the opposition on the court?
Uh-huh.
And do you put in the time, the work, the practice to get your body right, get your head right, get your game right? And the stars do that. And I don't know.
You didn't see that in Ace Bailey.
Didn't seem to have that.
Yeah,
He didn't seem to have it.
Yeah, for the record, I would have taken Ace Bailey, and I would have taken him because he's a wing player, and I think he has the defined skill being able to shoot the ball. And I try to ignore the fact that he was coming to the workouts, and it seemed like he didn't want to come to the Sixers. Well, it didn't seem like he wanted to go anywhere, and he wanted the process to land where he wanted to land. And I don't think Utah was where he wanted to go either. But when a kid gets into a situation, what is he going to do? Quit? He's going to compete. He's going to try to make the money, right?
Gov? I don't know. I don't know that I agree with you, and I love you, and it's your show, so you get the final word here. But look, I mean, we've seen enough of that in Philly. We've seen stars like James Harden go, I don't want to be here anymore. We've seen young players who are developing get all messed up when they're on play. See Markelle Fultz, see Ben Simmons, and the list goes on and on and on. I want kids that want to play here. Tyrese Maxey wants to play here. McCain wants to play here. It seems like VJ wants to play here. I mean, we've got a nice core. You add Grimes to that. You add guys like Kelly Oubre, just like, Russell every night, Yabusele and others. These guys want to be here, and I want that. That's what I want on our floor.
All right, let me just go over the guard line. I want you to be the general manager and tell me who's going to be here. Because they got 10, Gov. They got Maxey, McCain, Grimes, Edgecombe, Gordon, Lowry wants to come back, Jared Butler, who they got to trade, Ricky Council IV, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Jeff Dalton. How many of those 10 are going to stay?
Yeah, you can't keep all of them. And look, Kyle Lowry's just a wonderful, 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 Philadelphian, a wonderful guy, great Nova guy. I don't know that you got room in your lineup anymore for a veteran player like that. I mean, look, I like being able to start Tyrese and presumably McCain, assuming he's healthy, and be able to come off the bench with VJ and Grimes to start. And then I think all these other guys, they got to figure out if they can earn a spot. I mean, I've been high on Council over the last couple of years, to see the ability to compete now with these folks. I think the real question is, who do you start, right? I mean, do you go 3 guards, right? Do you go McCain and Maxey and let's say VJ's ready, after preseason? Do you do that? Or do you bring him off the bench and you start Oubre for some height? I don't know. The teams that are having success now, Mikey, they're the guys who they can run, they can play defense, and they can shoot threes.
You sound...
how you blend that with Joel, you got to figure all that out.
You sound very optimistic about the fortunes of the Sixers, while some other people say this era is over. There is no way you're going to get Embiid to play again at his level. Paul George seems uninterested. What are the Sixers at this point? And the other side of that is, but look at the East. It's all fragmented now with all kinds of injuries. So where do you stand?
So, look, I'm optimistic, but it's not just like, kind of being a Homer fan here. Let me explain. Like, you pointed out the East is wide open, right? Mm-hmm. Boston is having a little bit of a fire sale, and obviously it was awful what happened to Tatum. And I hate the Celtics more than anything in life, but you just feel bad for Tatum and what he went through. Obviously, with Halliburton's injury, you don't know what Indiana is going to look like next year. They were incredible this year. I think there's a huge question mark around New York, given kind of the change in coaching there. Let's see what they can do. Orlando's a team on the rise, certainly. But I think the East and the Nets, by the way, the Nets had like 8,000 picks in the first round last night. I don't think they got any better. So, I really think the East is wide open. If, and these are a lot of ifs, and you'd be right to challenge me on it, if Joel is healthy, if Paul George gets over whatever the hell he was going through last year, and these guys play at their max level, Joel's the best players, if not the best player in the league when he's healthy. And you can figure out how to get those guys to blend in with 3 or 4 fast-moving guards who need to move, who do not want to play half-court offense. It's a dangerous team. It's a dangerous team. So,
where are you if I asked you to put a percentage on all that goes good for the Sixers with the Embiid health, with the George interest, with blending all these new players? What is your percentage that it's going to be a successful season?
I'm better than 75%.
Whoa!
Successful season.
Whoa!
And there's some big asterisks with that, man. And I guess I reserve the right to come back in a few months and revise my comments, right? And get booed by the fans for doing that. But look, Joel has basically had a year to get his body right. And based on Morey's comments the other day, I think he's taking that really, really seriously.
Listen,
I think the bigger...
Go ahead.
I think the bigger question mark is PG. Like, I've not understood what the heck is going on with that guy. I don't know, he just doesn't want to play or what, but that's, to me, the reason why I wouldn't grade that even higher. I just really don't get what's going on with him.
All right, listen, you got to be optimistic. You're the governor of Pennsylvania. If you're from this area, you're a Monster Sixer fan. I would expect, me, to say, I think it's 40%. That's kind of what I'm saying at this point. So, quickly, let me shift over to your fighting Phillies, who now have not scored in 18 innings. I think you scored a run in the last two days before they did. What are you feeling as far as Dombrowski was saying? He likes the fact that their relief pitching can be shifted from their starting role. He doesn't seem like that they immediately need somebody. How are you feeling about this as we come towards the trading deadline?
Yeah, look, first of all, let's not panic. The Phils are in first place, and I think they've got maybe the second best record in the NL. I haven't looked at it in a couple of days, but maybe just behind the Dodgers, if memory serves me correct. They've been kind of this weird streaky team all year, right? And obviously they've been hot more than they're not, but these guys know how to hit. I guess I'm a little kind of back and forth on this. They know how to hit. They've got obscene talent in their lineup. And they get hot during the season. But look, the last couple postseasons, the bats go a little cold. So you kind of have to ask yourself, what's the reality of this team? And I think that's what everybody's struggling with. I think if Dombrowski can add a little piece here without, you don't want to give up an arm here in any way. You don't want to give up too much. Maybe you do that, but I feel pretty good about this team. I really do.
All right. So do you think that they would have to give one of their two major prospects to get what they need? And would you do that?
But okay. If I had to give one of them up, I probably would do it. And let me explain why. John Middleton, who I regard as one of the best owners in all of sports. And by the way, I think we're blessed too with Jeffrey Lurie as well. I mean, these are owners that invest, they want to win, and they put just great teams out on the field. And in many ways, I think John is. I mean, he's spending beyond maybe what you might rationally want to do, and the reason he does that is he freaking wants to win, and he loves this city, and he loves this team. And so I think given that, and given how big his heart is, how much he cares, I think they probably do make a move because, and I got no inside scoop here, I'm just saying, because they want to win now. And they built everything around winning now. I think I probably would make that move. If you told me that was going to be the difference maker, I'd do it.
Okay. Last issue I want to talk to you about. And we've been talking about the Eagles possibly wanting to put a dome stadium in here so they can recruit a Super Bowl and the whole bit. I don't know what Jeffrey's thinking. He just sold he got a little cash on his hand by selling a percentage of the team. If the Eagles came to knocking on your door for some funding for a dome stadium, would you be in favor of that?
Yeah, so we've had really good conversations, which obviously I'm not going to get into in this setting, with Jeffrey Lurie, with the Eagles, as they're working through kind of what they see for their future. And by the way, on the other side of the state, similarly with Art Rooney and his great team in the Steelers organization, we want to make sure that our teams can play in world-class, top-notch facilities where they can compete and win, where they generate revenue back to the cities they play in and, of course, to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I think they all understand the challenges I have, from a budgetary perspective, the need to make sure every kid gets a great quality education, our streets are safe, people have access to health care, we're creating jobs and economic opportunity. They know, and by the way, they both understand how important those issues are, and they're not looking to disrupt that. And so all of this is a balancing act, and we're going to continue to work with Jeffrey and continue to work with the Eagles organization to understand their vision and to make sure that there is a great place for them to play in Philadelphia.
All right, that's a very political answer, and I admire you for going there. Can I ask you one political question?
It's your show. You can ask me whatever you want.
Okay. There seems to be a split on approval or disapproval on the bombing of Iran's nuclear sites. Where do you come out?
Well, look, I want to see what the actual experts, military experts, and others say about the mission that was carried out by these incredibly brave and courageous service members flying those B-2s over Iran and of course, those who planned this. I want to hear from the experts. I don't want to hear the BS that comes from Hegseth and some of these other folks. So I want to see what actually happened there. I think we have to understand that Iran was the world's largest state sponsor of terror. They've killed not only people in Israel, they've killed Americans around the globe. They are a destabilizing force. The last thing in the world we want is for Iran to get a nuclear weapon. So if, in fact, this mission was successful at knocking out their nuclear arsenal, that is, or their ability to develop a nuclear arsenal, that is really an important thing. That's a good thing for the world if we do not have a nuclear Iran. But I want to see what really happened. I think the president and the experts owe the American people honesty and forthrightness here about what really happened, and then I think from there we can make further judgments.
So the downside might be that this could escalate a war.
Well, look, I mean, right now we've got a ceasefire that is holding That's good news. I credit everyone involved for that. We do not want instability. We do not want war in the Middle East. We do not want innocent lives being lost. We do not want Israelis being, Israeli citizens, having to run in bomb shelters all the time when the Iranians target Israel. But I think it is really important to find out what really happened, whether or not their nuclear program was really dismantled. I look forward to the experts actually telling us what occurred.
Governor, always a pleasure that you joined the show. And if the Phillies make a big trade, we're going to get your analysis for that as well.
I love it. Listen, go Sixers, man. I was proud to throw on that Sixers cap this morning when I was working out. And I'm just optimistic, man. I'm pumped up. And, I gave Daryl a little bit of grief publicly over this, the consideration of Ace Bailey over the last few days. He deserves a lot of credit for this pick, I believe. And you can never see in the future with these draft picks, but I think with all the available information he had, he made a great pick, and I'm just psyched for the Sixers.
No ace is good with the governor. Gov, thanks so much. We'll talk to you up the road. Take care.
All right, later. See
There
ya.
he is, Governor Josh Shapiro checking in. Very forthright. So there you go. He answers politically correctly. When it came to the dome.
He didn't say no, though.
He didn't say no. They've had discussions. 610-632-0975. Let's take a break. We'll come back with your tweets, your phone calls. We're have some open lines right now, so if you want to get in, now is the time on the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Vacation? Business trip? Don't
Yeah, the starting two guard for the Sixers next year. Grimes! Ray, you like this tune, don't you? You rock to this tune.
It's become like something that represents something else for me. I don't think I ever would have found it in any other walk of my life, but now that it's become, I like the dun, 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 like the beginning of it. Yeah, like this, like.
You like that?
I like that.
That's funky.
And then the little drop to it too that comes. Yeah, I like the.
You don't like Grimes' voice, though? Huh? The squeaky for you?
It doesn't do it the same way for me, but you know.
Elon Musk liked it for a while.
That he did. You know, I don't know how much he and I find. I like the app X. I don't know.
I'm looking at the Inquire today, and they asked some people for their opinions on the pick. So Everett says the following: I don't think it matters who the Sixers draft. They're not going to be among the top NBA teams until they make changes in ownership and management. Other than head coach Nurse, they are not ready to challenge the big guys. So what about the head coaches that are ready to challenge the big guys? What has Nick Nurse done so far? Has he done a good job?
I can't say he's done a good job.
Has he stayed away from the fray?
I can't say he's done a good job. I think last year the circumstances put out of his control. Just all the injuries. I mean, type of guys, you mentioned Hood Schifino, Alex Reese, Colin Castleton.
I get it. You're supposed to be able to win an occasional game, even though you don't have people.
I mean, kind of the benefit they didn't. We could have been talking.
Nick Nurse hasn't impressed me at all since he's been
No. And the biggest disappointment to me, and I know this used to be a big thing that Bill used to drive home, is that they had all that time his first season without Embiid on the floor. They got to the Knicks series, and their biggest problem was without Embiid on the floor.
Right.
It was like, you didn't learn anything in the half a season you didn't have him?
Correct.
You rushed it back, and that you were still going to be a minus whatever with him off the floor?
Ronald R. says this. Good pick. They sure didn't want Ace. Kid's got a poor agent and a poor attitude. Ben 2.0. Best player on a poor team. He wasn't the best player on Rutgers. Dylan Harper was. Hope Utah has fun, Ace. 76ers still need to divest themselves of Embiid and George. They could have 3 first-round picks, and they just still won't make the playoffs as long as those two are a Sixer. Just dead weight. Wow, there you go. So what's VJ Edgecombe going to add if they're dead weight?
Well, it's still an exciting backcourt if they're dead weight.
All right, give me the backcourt. I want to hear your starting lineup, who comes off the bench, and who makes the team. First of all, let's go down the list of guys who you think will make the team. It's going to be Maxey, McCain, Grimes, Edgecombe make the team, right? As guards. Eric Gordon, is he on the team? Got a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess
okay, he's in. Kyle Lowry.
I think he's going to be. I think
he'll be there too, won't he?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. That's 6 guards already.
I got you.
Jared Butler.
Probably.
7 guards. Ricky Council.
No.
Oh, they'll cut him?
Yeah, he gone.
Jalen Hood-Schifino.
He gone.
Jeff Dalton.
Yeah, in Delaware.
All right, so your guards are Maxey, McCain, Grimes, Edgecombe, Gordon, Lowry, Butler. 7. All right.
But if we're talking about roster construction here, I would not have Lowry back. Lowry, if you want to be
I
here,
wouldn't either.
You could be a player development guy.
So you want to take him away and make it 6? You think that Nick Nurse will cut him?
I don't. I don't think Nurse will. I don't think Morey will. I don't think Eric Gordon's out of here now that last night Eric Gordon became a prime storyline of last night's conversation.
Because he can help him.
It's great if he can help.
Eric Gordon can tutor VJ Edgecombe.
When did it become that guys in their late 30s can help them as members of the team? Just give them a cushy job. How many assistants do they have? They don't have another, they just cleaned out a couple of assistants, right?
Why can't he be the guy, he could be the 12th man, what's his name was for the Heat?
Haslam?
Yeah.
He's our Haslam?
Yeah, Haslam had played 4 years as the 12th man, never played.
That's fine.
As a coach.
One of Gordon and Lowry get to keep their jersey. The other one has to start wearing sweats.
All right, listen, you got 7 guards, right? Now let's move on. Because you'll have Embiid and George. That makes 9. Oubre, 10.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Edwards, your boy.
Got to be there.
11. And now here it is. Will the 12th man be Drummond? Will the 12th man be Yabusele?
I don't think Yabusele's back.
Yabusele's out.
I think he's getting paid by the Spurs.
Drummond That's 12. No Bona?
Oh, I think he carried 15, right?
Oh, that's right. He carried 15 with 3 don't dress. So Bona?
So Butler won't dress in this world for me.
Okay.
Lowry won't dress in this world for me.
Okay.
So Bona will play. Bona will dress
All right,
because
so there's your 12. You got 12 with a couple guys sitting out.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I mean, listen, the backcourt that I'm excited for is not the Butler, Lowry, Gordon portion of it. It's trying to mix and match and see what works between a Maxey, McCain, Grimes.
They got second round players coming in too. Well, will there be a second round player on the roster, or will they be in the G?
I imagine it'd be a two-way, if I had to guess. Be back and forth. You know, they'll get to know that I-95 route pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, for a first-year player that was drafted in the second round, that's what you could ask for.
All right, let me ask you a question. You don't get Fleming. He's taken early. I don't know who you take at 35, but later on, do you take a shot with Villanova's finest?
So what you're setting me up for here, eh? What I'm going to say is that I'm not going to give up assets to come back in the second round for Dixon. And your exact
Eric
response...
Dixon on the board, do you take him?
Your exact response here is going to be, this is me hating. This is just me saying I wouldn't trade back in for Eric Dixon.
No, they don't have to trade back in. You just stay there with it. What's your other...
At 35?
No, not 35. Later on in the second round, you got a couple picks, don't you?
The 76ers? No. I think 35
They only have one? No, they have another second round pick.
I'm almost positive 35 is it for them.
Really? I thought they had a couple second round picks.
Yeah.
35 is it?
That's it.
So you're not taking Eric Dixon at
Not
35?
No.
No, I how can I not think it's your anti-Villanova stance? How can I not think?
Well, because I would say I'm not going to trade assets to get back in the second round to get Eric Dixon. All you're going to hear is, well, Ray's not taking the Villanova guy. I know how this gets spun. I know how this. I was on Villanova's campus yesterday.
You were? What were you doing there?
I was at the sports broadcasting camp. I went, talked to the
sports.
kids.
Oh, that's right. You were a big star, apparently. Was Kincade there also?
He was also there.
Kincade was there lecturing to the people. Ray Dunn was the hero because you had come through that camp.
I did.
You
I was a
came through
counselor
that
there.
camp. You were a counselor.
Camper,
no,
counselor.
I spoke there a couple times. Were you a counselor when I was there?
I don't think that you ever spoke while I was there. And I was there
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I know you spoke there, and I think I missed you by a day.
Really?
But that was back when I was coming back as, hey, this guy's working.
Yeah, I'm sure you did that. 610-632-0975. All the way down the home stretch on the Mike Missanelli Show.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and coming up
146, Mike Missanelli Show. One of the things we talked about in the NBA, the plethora of Achilles tendon injuries and why they're happening. And, I know there's science that's involved in this, and the NBA has a bunch of analysts and doctors and charts and all these kind of things that they measure stress on limbs and soft tissue and things like that. But it just seems that these days, and in my view, it's because the pace of the game is just incredibly fast, as fast as it's ever been. The jumping is higher than it's ever been. The training and the muscle tone is higher than it's ever been. And all this may be putting strain, especially the calf is connected to the Achilles tendon. You're using your calf a lot to get hops and to run the floor and things like that. So Adam Silver was asked about this whole situation, and here's how he answered the abundance of Achilles tendon injuries that are happening in the NBA these days.
We had 7 this year. We had 0 last year under the exact same circumstances. And the most we've ever had in a season is 4. NFL has had a rash of Achilles issues as well. So the purpose of convening those experts is to try to figure out what's going on. It's interesting. When we look back at the last 10 years, the majority of the Achilles injuries have happened before the All-Star break. So it's not clear it's the number of games. And as you know, modern NBA players, even when they're not playing games, sometimes in the summer, they're working harder than they are during the season when they're playing 3 games a week. They're often playing every day. Some experts think it may have more to do with youth basketball. It may have as much to do with what they do from 10 to 19. Increasingly, they're single sport athletes. These guys train also harder than when I talk to veteran players now. I was talking to Andre Iguodala the other day, the head of the Players Association. He's saying he's counseling a lot of these players that they need more rest on their body in the off season. I mean, you've got guys working 3 times a day. So I'm hopeful that by looking at more data, by looking at patterns, this is one area where AI, people are talking about how that's going to transform so many areas. The ability with AI to ingest all video that of every game a player has played in to see if you can detect there's some pattern that we didn't realize that leads to an Achilles injury, whether it's associated with calf injuries. We really don't know. But we're taking it very seriously.
All right. Well, this is now one of these projections, but much like the concussion study in the NFL, you'll come up with some data. But what can you do about it? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to mandate that NBA players have to wear high sneakers? Like, you can't do that.
No.
So, what are you going to do? Are you going to train differently? Are you going to restrict minutes more? Like, what can you possibly do?
I mean, this could get to the world where they talk about trimming the schedule. I mean,
you think that Adam Silver's going to lose revenue for the owners?
And that's the problem. Is that would be probably what the players would suggest, but I don't know if they would get to that level because of obviously the nights that you would lose. Do they extend the season where you get more nights off in there? Does that help you?
Yeah.
Does this season need to be extended anymore? I mean, goodness, the fact that we were playing the finals until last week, and the Sixers' last game of the season felt like it was 3 years ago. I mean, it's a long season already. So if you extend it by days to give more rest in there, I don't know how much more favorable you can make the schedule for the players.
Yeah.
While not losing regular season games.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to keep our close eye on it. I just got a tweet from a guy, Dan, who says, I don't understand how Mike can defend the actions of Ace Bailey and his agent. You don't want to work out to expose yourself? Fine, I get that. No different than a lot of these guys in the NFL not going to the combine. But not at least meeting with management and the team is wrong. What is wrong about it? Him not meeting with the team can only put him at risk. So if he's comfortable with not meeting and he's willing to take the ramifications of it hurting him somehow in the draft process, it's up to him. I honestly, I don't even defend. That's the strategy they decided to do. You know enough about me now. Either draft me or don't draft me. They were willing to take the rap for that. So what is wrong with it? They know what the ramifications are. It could hurt him. It could not hurt him. As it turned out, it didn't hurt him. It hurt him. He was taking 5th. Did it hurt him?
I mean, a little bit. I think he lost out like $8 million.
Well, you think the Sixers didn't take him because he didn't meet with them?
Morey said he very much enjoys getting to know the person.
Okay, so you think, but he also said it doesn't matter one bit about the workouts. So if it doesn't matter about the workouts, then what? Dinner is going to be really make the difference whether you're going to take somebody or not?
It could.
I don't think so.
By the way, he was talking about the fact that he didn't care about the workout, but it was great to know the person. They kept going back to his character.
They decided not to do any of these meetings, and they know the camp knows. Well, if it hurts them, it hurts them. But they're not going to do it. Like I actually have admiration for that. They stared into the wind and said, "Okay, it's going to hurt us. Let's see how much it hurts us." They went to the 5th spot, and he went to a spot that was better for him.
And for Con Knippel, the rest of his life, he could say he was drafted over Ace Bailey.
Good for Con Knippel. Now, we'll see who has the better career. And I will bet you dollars to frickin' donuts that it ain't Con Knippel.
I'm not taking that bet. You think I want to bet on Con Knippel versus Ace Bailey?
I'm betting you dollars, and I'm asking for donuts. You're not going to take that bet? I'm giving you donut odds.
All right, so how many dollars?
I don't know. You name it. What do you got?
What do I have?
Yeah.
I got no dollars to bet. I thought I was betting donuts.
$20 to a dozen donuts.
Oh, that's not fair at all.
What?
Where do you want the donuts from? Because I would get them from Federal.
$20 to 6 donuts.
I would get you 6 Federal donuts in exchange for $20 on this bet. It's really not that high.
6 is almost
odds.
6 Federal donuts. It's going to cost you 20.
That's what I mean.
It's going to be Dunkin' Donuts. So it could be cheaper. A half a dozen at Dunkin' is going to cost you like $6.
Yeah, all right, I could do that.
All right?
I like going,
dollars to donuts, Ray.
I like balling out with the Federal Donuts. Well, by the time that this is decided, I won't be living across the street from Federal Donuts. So when are we doing this? 5 years from now? 10 years from now? When's the payoff here?
I don't know. How soon do you think it'll take Con Knippel to be a star?
I don't know. I wasn't banking on being a star. All of a sudden, I've been backed into the Con Knippel corner.
Dollars to donuts, and who has the better year next year?
Ooh, in Charlotte versus in Utah. Yeah, I'm not. Nah.
Well, both are going to get their opportunity to play a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking that bet.
You're not going to take the dollars to donuts bet on next year.
No.
Bailey has a better year than Con Knippel?
No.
You were all about Con Knippel.
No, I wasn't. I was making a throwaway line about the fact that he got drafted before Ace Bailey.
All of a sudden, you got Larry Bird coming into the league. Con Knippel.
You've ripped Con Knippel how many times the airwaves? How many times have I stuck up and said, I want that guy? None. There's a reason.
Yeah, but you thought I was being unfair on Con Knippel.
No, I was just saying that the whole thing that Ace Bailey did had him drive by.
In any event, we got to get out of here. Stay tuned for Unfiltered. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.